morning, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a good morning. I'm sitting here trying to suck down some coffee and get myself awake. I was awake yesterday and I saw that Neo Tarot had posted a new reading on Foodie Beauty. Before that, I was watching Chantal because she did another 5 hour live. Ooh, it was rough. It was really rough. That live. It was entirely too much. She was doing the most with the food. It was insane. Just she's just won't stop eating. Just her food problem is completely out of control. I was watching going, "Girl, slow down. What's the matter?" She's upset at somebody. Foodie is definitely upset at someone. I don't know if it's somebody in her family or Salah, but like you guys know that I've dealt with food issues and I've been noticing for a while like something is stressing her all the way out. Like there are some stressors behind the scenes. Hello, Mrs. B. Hello, JD. Welcome, ladies. I think there's something going on with Foodie. I think that there's something really stressing her out and she's taking it out on the food. Like she is desperately trying to keep things under wraps. Yeah, she was. Here's the thing, though, because I'm guilty. Like I did that, eating of the feelings. But you can try to eat your feelings, but it's best to let out your feelings. That's the healthy way. Let out your feelings. Eating your feelings just makes another problem. Having trouble feelings is one problem. Trying to cover them up or quiet them down with food is you're making another problem on top of a problem. And I agree. I think she needs to go to inpatient. She really does need to. I've been saying that for a while, though, haven't I? She needs to go to serious, restricted, lockdown. You have no choice, inpatient. But here's the thing. Nobody can make her go. But the 5 hour live that I saw her do yesterday, I was like, someone needs to come get her now. It's getting out of control. I don't know what's going on with Chantal. I don't know what's stressing her out, but she is just doing entirely too much with that food. Way too much. And she needs to just slow it all the way down. All the way down. So, Neo Tarot did a reading on Foodie. It was a wonderful reading. And it's going to give you chills. Especially the end. It gave me chills. Like, has anybody here watched it yet? Thank you, Mrs. B. She's so deluded and out of touch with reality. Her mother should have made sure Foodie knew she's nothing special to anyone else and no one give a crap about her. She needs to not be in society. I was not in the family home when she was being raised. I think there were a lot of things missing in Foodie's upbringing. She needed a lot more discipline, a lot more structure. Instead of people coddling her, she needed someone to set her straight early. And I don't think that happened. There's way too much coddling that happened. And here we are. Hello, Allison. Thank you, Sage. Her mother and her aunt can't see what's happening. I'm sure that they can. It's just that Foodie is, almost 42 years old. What could they do? They can't force her to go to any kind of institution or get any kind of help. Even if they get a 5150 type deal on her, she's just going to check herself out. She's a grown adult. There's nothing that they can do. If she were much younger, maybe they could have. But you can't make someone do what they don't want to do. Foodie's got to want it. Foodie's got to do it. So there's really nothing they can do. They can't stop her. They can end her food problem. They just watching from the sidelines. Yeah, a lot of things were definitely missing in her upbringing. She needed that structure. She needed that discipline. She didn't get it. She was just running wild. It's really chilling. Have you guys seen Neo Tarot's reading? You know what? That's what we're doing this morning, Clickety. That's what we're doing this morning. Yay. Instead of just doing a recording, I thought I'd, do a live instead. Thank you, Mrs. B. I completely agree. No child comes with a manual, and I'm sure her mom did her best, but she needs discipline. Yeah, because she's very headstrong, is Foodie. I think that she needed a male father figure when she was young, and she didn't get it. And I think when she got older, she still longed for that. She longed to have a father. Like maybe part of her behavior. I'm not trying to diagnose her or anything, because she didn't have that male figure. She just been running around trying to find she even said herself, she's got daddy issues, and she's trying to find the father in a partner that she didn't have when she was a child. She's trying to combine the two. I'm going to pick a partner or a guy that I like and also treat him like a father figure. It's like, no, a father figure is a father figure. It's someone you are not attracted to that way. It's someone you look to for guidance and, advice, but you have no attraction to them. That would be a father figure, someone that you respect, someone that you'll listen to. You get that male point of view, but you can't be attracted to your daddy. Like she's trying to put two things together. And here's the thing, Chantal, you can look for your daddy in every man, but only a daddy can be a daddy. You understand? You don't really need a daddy. You need a father. You need a father figure. And I know that you have a stepfather, but you don't really respect him and you don't really listen to him. And that's a doggone shame, but just she's doing too much. I think there's a lot of issues beneath the surface, but she does not want to go to therapy and talk about them with someone and figure them out. She wants to cover them up. She wants to escape from the issues. And just worse, now she's got the food problem. She's had the food problem for, she said, 30 years. And it's just cycling and getting worse. And she never mentions her stepfather. I'm sorry, Mrs. B. You know what? It's just maybe subconsciously she's not aware of what she's doing, Mrs. B. Maybe she's not aware that when she looks at a guy she likes, that she's also transferring the need for a father onto that man. Maybe she's not subconsciously aware of that. I don't know if she is or isn't. And she just wants attention. Sage, do you think she has something very, very seriously wrong? She knows and decided to blank. I can't read that. She won't go to a doctor. Now she says she will never go to a dentist again. I don't know what her intentions are. Honestly, I'm not going to say her intentions because I don't honestly know if she's just given up, if she's decided, I quit. If she's got a very I quit attitude. But nothing can stop her from doing what she's doing. Sometimes I think that she wants someone to care. She wants attention. She wants all kinds of attention, but she wants someone to care. And she's using the wrong means to get people to care about her. And she's using the wrong means to get attention. Hey, kitten. How are you, kitten? Thank you. I think she doesn't want to have confirmation of what is wrong. Ignorance is bliss to her. Here's the crazy thing. What's that saying? It takes a village to raise a child. Well, Foodie is basically an adult child, and there's like a whole village of sorts around her. And we've been throwing all kinds of downloads and information at her and maybe some insight, and yet she won't listen. She may not like us, but the information is there. The perspectives are there. She does not want to listen. She's just like, my way of the highway, I do what I want. It's like, if you listen, though, to what some of the people say, it might do you some good. You think she's lost? She doesn't know what to do with her life. Well, the live that Kitten, you were there. Like last night's live, I'm like, girl, someone needs to break into that house and like take you out of it and take you straight to an institution. You have lost it. And as far as her, what she's doing, it's obvious that she's catering to the feeties as well as other adult fetishes. I think that she won't give that up because that's the only area of her life where she gets validation, where she gets attention, where she gets control. It makes her feel good to have people tell her, oh, you're sexy, you're great, I love you. Like she wants that positive attention. Problem is, she's using negative means to get it, and it's hurting her body as well as her mind. So it's like if you have a very unfulfilling life where you got nothing else going on for yourself, you're losing in all areas of your life, and you're winning in one area of your life, are you going to give up that one area where you think you're winning? Probably not. Where you get validation, you get attention, people are giving you praise. Are you going to give that up? Nope. Even if it hurts you, even if it makes you sick. Yeah, she wants money because buying things and eating is all she has in her life. Yep. And she gets the money, she spends the money on stuff. She's doing that shopping therapy, and that gives her short-term gratification. But then afterwards, she's like, now what? I think right now her life is a series of now what's. Okay, I order takeout, I eat the takeout, now what? Now what do I do with myself? I order stuff on Amazon, I get this stuff from Amazon, I rip open the package, I get happy seeing something new, and then after 15 minutes, the high is over, now what? I wake up in the morning and I've got nothing to do, now what? Her life is a series of now what's. Like, I'm happy for just a minute, but then after that minute's over, I'm back to feeling sad and empty again. It's a series of now what's. Thank you. You're welcome, Mrs. B. So I know you guys are here for Neo Tarot's reading. The reading itself is not going to be that long. I just wanted to give my perspective on what's going on with Foodie, because I did watch a great part of her, good God, 5-hour live. I was just like, this is insane. She's over there drinking gravy, and she ate takeout 4 times yesterday. 4 times. Yeah, I saw that. Keto. She ate the food and then she complained because she wanted to get part of her money back. I hope she knows that if she keeps complaining like that, they may yank her entire account. I hope she knows that. Like, if you complain too much, you might risk your entire account being shut down because you keep asking for refunds. Hope she knows that. Like, you can't be doing that. Like, every time you turn around, you order takeout or delivery, you can't be complaining all the time. It'll risk your account. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into Neo's reading, y'all. And for those of you that have never heard of Neo Tarot, look for this name on YouTube. Actually, before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and post the link in the chat so you guys can find her. The way I'm not like doing it while I'm live. Let's see. That's the link to the original video. Just go give her some love over there. Sub up to her. Leave her a comment on her video. Tell her how much you enjoy her doing these readings on Foodie. And, like, also, if you want private readings from Neo, she does have them in her merch store. The link is on any one of her videos, and she'll be happy to give you a private reading. So with that said, let's get into the reading itself. You just go ahead and pull that up and get it all set up. One moment, please. Hey, Booger. And Queen Booger is going to be joining us for the reading. All right, let's get started, y'all.
Let's get into this amazing reading for Foodie Beauty. Now, remember, this reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes. Sometimes the tea is hot and sometimes it's not. You have to watch the video to the end to determine for yourself. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are always here, welcome back, friend. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Okay. There goes those cats. They love to pop out. Okay, so Spirit is acknowledging that her boat is stalled, meaning that she is directionless. Her movement has been halted, paused. Okay, and this is due to her own actions. And Spirit is acknowledging again she must take accountability and responsibility for her actions. If she chooses, okay, no matter how big or small of a role that she plays. Spirit keeps saying fracture. I don't know if she's fractured something. But there's this energy of fracturing like a bone in the body. Spirit is also acknowledging that this is coming on the heels of something that has been very emotional for her. So we do have anxiety, sadness, fear, depression. It's still acknowledging that she's communicating her ups and downs. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So if she's unable to see the treasured objective in this pause, this halt, this movement of this inability to have movement, the waters will get crazy again. If the good Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. This is again her windy path. This is the path that she's chosen. And at any moment she can get on a more straight and narrow high frequency journey. But if she chooses not to, that's her business. You know, you ever heard a song, Don't Save Them or Don't Save Her? She don't want to be saved. Yeah, that's the one. Like you can't, there's nothing any energy can do in that regard. This is her windy path. And so the thing about it is, if it leads to destruction, then she is an example of what not to do. Okay.
You know, every private reading, I even did a reading recently on Foodie. Those of you that were in the live, you might have seen it. I've also done the private readings on Foodie. Every single time I do a reading on her, I've been picking up that Foodie, she doesn't want to stay in that apartment. She never intended to stay there the entire 14 months. She wants to leave. She wants to break that lease somehow. I don't think she intended to stay there the entire time. Maybe she hoped that after a few months that Salah would let her back over to Syria or something. But I keep picking up she does not want to be there. She wants to pick up and go. Where she's going, I don't know. Like, where would she go? I don't know. But her thoughts are about, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this house. She even said recently, she said, I don't care if I get evicted. I could just move into a cheaper place. Even though her place is nice and she picked it, she does not want to be in that apartment. She doesn't want to pay $2,000 rent. Could she? Yes. Because she's making money behind the scenes doing the Foodie stuff. And this right here, I think that's why she doxed herself, because she wants people to cause problems so she has an excuse to get out of it. I agree with that. She completely doxed herself because she was hoping, perhaps, that Girl World would make problems with the apartment complex and she could use that as an excuse to get out of the lease. But even if that were true, the landlords are not going to let her go scot-free. They're going to want their rent money, or they might ask her to pay a certain amount to break the lease. So that's not really the best plan. And this right here, everywhere she goes, she runs from herself. Well said. She's running from herself. She's running from her issues. She's running from her obligations and responsibilities. She just wants to run. She wants someone to take care of her. And the part that she's not getting is that there's nobody around her that I have seen that can or will take care of her. Her family is not going to let her live with them. They don't have the room, nor the time, nor the means to take care of Foodie. If she becomes bedbound, do we know anybody around her that would take care of her? Pete can't do it. He has no medical training to take care of a super morbidly obese patient. Natter's not going to do it. Salah certainly won't do it. Is there anybody that I've missed that has the capability, time, energy, equipment to take care of Foodie if she becomes bedbound? Because I haven't seen a one. Kiwi Kitten, I think that's why she shows the boxes in the trash while saying, oh no, don't report me. She wants an excuse. If the apartment isn't in her name, she has no reason to stay. Someone else will suffer. Precisely that. She's been saying that the apartment is not in her name. So that means there was a co-signer, a guarantor. And if she leaves, then the co-signer is the one that suffers. Their credit score goes down and all of that. So whoever that person is, they're going to have to deal with it if they co-signed. She'll have to get on Phoebe and find a nurse like Emily. Well, I think she might have certain accounts in certain places. I really do. I think she's got accounts in certain places and doing certain things. You guys know that. When Pete gives up on her, she's screwed. Pete doesn't have the capabilities to take care of Foodie. Now, he doesn't have the training. Trying to help a super morbidly obese person, like any nurse will tell you, you got to be very careful so you don't hurt your own back. You can hurt yourself trying to help somebody else. Private nurses will be her friends. I don't know about that. Foodie's very defiant. She would be a nightmare patient. She wouldn't be nice to them, that's for sure. And she wouldn't be happy with somebody she doesn't know giving her a bath, although she probably wouldn't have a choice. So she'd be a nightmare patient. But going back to Neo's reading, the boat stalled in the water. Yeah, I've been picking up on that too. That she wants to leave. She's been trying for the longest to leave, and she's stuck. The boat is stuck in the water. The water is still. There's no movement beneath. I'm also kind of picking up something from this card right here, the long road card. Maybe Foodie is in a foul mood these days because she can't go see you-know-who. And she can't go spend time with him. Maybe she's a bit crabby because of that.
Spirit is acknowledging that she feels trapped. She feels cornered. She feels blocked. And this is not just the energy of someone. This is the energy of the cats. And this is the first or maybe the second time that I picked up on this before. But everything has energy, right? And even things that are no longer in the physical realm, when they transfer their energy, energy transfers. Energy never dies. So there's also this haunting of the energy of cats. And she's the mouse this time. You know, she's the prey this time.
Hey.
Thank you, Spirit. And it says, go get it, required and inspired. Now is the time, readiness and follow through. Yeah. So she has a choice to make. And if she chooses to take the high road and to not go over it, under it, or around it, to grow through it, she will feel humble. She will feel grateful. But if she chooses the latter, then she will feel the opposite. There is energy that people are looking at her and laughing and saying, I told you so. But even in this moment of people saying, I told you so, she has a choice to take the high road. If she chooses not to, that's her business. But there are energies saying, look, totally content. It's a yes. We see you down, bad, sad, mad, dusty, crusty, right? Musty. But she can take the high road if she chooses. But Spirit says she's not. Okay. And it's interesting because every time I read on her and I'm like just acknowledging that the universe offers us choice, it always says she doesn't want it. 9 times out of 10, she's like, never mind. And the reason why I say that is because she would rather have a layer to the cake. And there is a double meaning on this. It's layered. You want cake, number one. But number two, you would rather add a layer to the cake. Now, I don't know if she is diabetic, but Spirit is also telling me your glycemic levels, and I don't think I've ever talked about this, and I could have. Glycemic levels are way too high. You don't.
And Neo is saying this as a reader. A lot of people have accused Neo of watching Foodie and just reading off of watching Foodie and then just saying things based on watching Foodie and watching her lives. Neo does not watch Chantal. She's not like those of us in Girl World. She's just reading straight off of energy. She ain't got the time to sit there and watch Foodie for hours. Anybody knows, like Foodie's been going live for like 4 or 5 hours at a time. Anybody can go back to Neo Tarot's channel. Like she does frequent uploads. Plus, I'm sure she's got a lot of private readings to do. She ain't got the time to watch Foodie like the rest of us. she ain't got the time. So it's just straight off of energy. But isn't it something that Neo is picking up on the diabetes and the cake, and that her glycemic levels are way too high? And y'all know Foodie's been showing her blood sugar readings on camera, and her blood sugar readings are scary. And he's showing off a reading of like 16 and giggling about it. Her blood sugar readings are through the roof. She's been thirsty, endlessly thirsty, which is going to happen if you are diabetic and your blood sugar is too high. It creates endless thirst. I'm sure well, she does have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, Sage. And she did tell us long ago her liver is 3 times the size of normal. So she's pushing her body to the limit, and there's no reason to. But she's doing too much with that food. Way too much with that food.
Need no cake. Okay, no more cake. I don't even know, I don't even know the medications for that kind of stuff, but I'm just going to say, I don't know if she's at a GL1. I don't know. I honestly have no clue, but Spirit is just telling me this. But anyway, she would rather have accomplishment and fame, because that's what feeds that wounded child, the fame. The confidence. That's what gives her confidence, the fame. And whether it's good or bad, you ever met kids who they just want attention? They don't care if they gotta get it the bad attention. They want someone to acknowledge. They want someone to, get all huffy and puffy. And that's her. She'll take the bitter with the sweet. She don't care. To her, it feeds that that nasty energy that, every now and then it'll come and it'll be like, yep, it's there. And so, never mind. So, yeah, Foodie Beauty, current energy.
Yeah, Foodie's all about she's all about, I need validation. I need attention. And if I'm not getting it from a guy or a group of guys, and I'm going to get it somewhere else. I'm also being told something right now, she's missing the attention she used to get on YouTube. She got a lot more attention on YouTube. Now that she's on Kick, she's not getting as much attention because there's not as many people in her audience. When she comes on YouTube, she'll have a lot more people in the audience to give her attention. Now she's on Kick and she has maybe 200 300 people or so in the audience. She's missing the attention. So maybe she's trying to compensate by doing extra behind the scenes. Yeah, that need for validation and attention is why she's always saying, are you there? Are you guys there? Yeah, where are you guys going? She's always afraid of people leaving and not getting as much attention. Yeah, she thinks she's a boss, but a boss beach takes care of themselves. They don't abuse themselves. They take care of themselves. They respect themselves. She's not respecting herself. So she's trying to get attention in front of the camera. She's trying to get attention behind the camera, away from us. And it's pushing her to her limit. But if you're a boss bitch, you take care of yourself. You respect yourself. You are your own best friend. Usually this, whatever the habits I got, I need to knock them off. It's not doing me any good. If you want to be a boss, you can be a boss. But being a boss means you lead, you don't follow. And she's following. She's following her addiction. She's following the words of those that support the addiction, enable the addiction. They give her this false sense of importance. We're so beautiful and you're so great. And she thinks that's where it's at. No, it isn't. I don't think she understands the difference between somebody actually loving you and caring about you and someone just giving you praise because you're satisfying a need that you have, that they have. I don't think she understands that she's being used. Like those people out there that have the feeder fetish, they're using her to satisfy that fetish, but her importance extends only to if she fulfills that need and as long as she fulfills that need. She's basically a public receptacle, like a toilet. They'll walk up to her, they'll use her, and then after that need is over, they walk away. That's as far as it goes. There's no emotional attachment. There's no real care. It's just you are satisfying a need that I have. And that's why I'm coming to you, because you're willing to satisfy a need. But then after that need is over, I'm not going to think of you until I need something again. So a boss bitch takes care of themselves.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know what's going on. It's been a minute since I read on you, but twin flame is in reverse. False twin, not being yourself, living in the shadow of others, identity crisis, hopeless romantic, blaming others, spoiled, and entitlement. Are you still harping on that relationship with Salah?
Yep, she sure is. And she won't let him go. Neo, she will not let that man go. Even though he's in another country. And clearly he does not want to be with her, which is what she wants. She wants someone to love her. She wants someone to be as obsessed with her as she is with them. And it's never going to happen with that one. I think part of her problem is she's so busy with both hands hanging on to men from the past that she can't find someone in the present. And I also think that the reason why she hangs on to Nader and to Salah is because that's all she's got. I think deep down she knows that neither one are good for her, but that's all she's got. And maybe she's also aware at her current state, she's not going to find anybody because she's not willing to take care of herself or change. People want to find a partner they can spend the rest of their life with, not someone that they want to get involved with. And the next thing you know, you're afraid the person is going to end up in a hospital or a casket. No one wants to invest their spirit or their heart in somebody like that. It's just you're lining yourself up for heartbreak. But look at this, Foodie, false twin flame, meaning Salah is not the one, nor is Nader. You're deluding yourself and you're fooling yourself into thinking like this is the one for me, if that's what you're thinking. But you're holding on to something that don't really belong to you and doesn't want to be with you. Because if he wanted to be with you, you'd be there right now. Same thing with Nader. If Nader wanted you with him, you'd be with him. But notice that both men are far away from you. And they're content to keep you far away from them because they're just getting money from you and they don't have to deal with all your nonsense. So like you are involving yourself with false flames, you know, and there's no warmth from either one of them. Yes, she did. When she said all Nader had to do was fake love her, it said so much about her. She doesn't want someone to just love her, just someone that can show off thinking it makes her better than everyone else. She did say that. She did say, all you got to do is fake love me. So you put this energy out into the universe. I am willing to accept fake love, and that's all I need. You're willing to accept the fake rather than stand your ground and wait for the real. You set the line in the sand. You said, I don't, even though I want the real, I'm willing to settle for something not real. And all the unhappiness that is going to come with it, because the fake, it gets my foot in the door, but it's not going to make me happy. She's always settled for the fake. I don't think she really wants a partner. She just wants someone to show off to people, again, for validation. It connects to her validation, perhaps her narcissism, the appearance of somebody loving her versus actually having someone that loves her, because she knows that having someone that loves her requires work and dedication to the relationship and also herself. and she's not willing to put the work in. So because she doesn't want to work, then fake it is. Yep, she's had a few chances. That's right. She cheated on Pete. She cheated on BB. They were good men. She thought they were boring because they weren't bad boys, and she did them dirty. If you want someone to love you, first you have to love yourself. And then you have to honestly care about the other person. You just can't treat them like a doormat and wipe your feet on them. But false twins, Foodie. Salah is a false twin, yet you won't let that man go.
I don't know, y'all tell me. Also, Foodie Beauty 29 is in reverse. The athlete, loser mentality, competition, negative attitude, out of shape, distractions, lack of motivation, stagnation, and lacking discipline. Just reading from the book. And then in the middle of the deck, interesting that this relationship is a false twin, karmic lover, and it has you out of shape. It has you no longer I'm saying no, not even an athlete, right? But in the middle of the deck, there is a soul tie. Soul tie, history, conflict, lack of intimacy, spying, negativity. You just won't leave this man alone. Bonding, blame, attachment, the past coming back, abuse prone, codependency. So you're a codependent. You're addicted to this man, smothering and not letting go. What in run, Salah? Keep running. And I've told you guys this before.
You know, I'm kind of confused though. I mean, Foodie's got more than one man in her energy. We got Natter on one side. Don't forget about him. We got Salah on the other side. It's hard to tell like which one is which because there's obsessions for both men on either side. She's obsessed with them. She's obsessed with keeping them around and maybe she's doing the most with her food issue to make that money, to give money to both. Like I'm sure that trying to make her bills and rent and also take care of not one, but two sugar babies is expensive. You know they're milking her for the money behind the scenes. They're not giving attention for free. That's why you're exhausted, Chantal. Like you're trying to maintain things with both men. And it's like your body can't handle it. You're not, this is not crackhead Olympics where you're making 20, 30 grand a month and you could just throw money around and it wasn't a thing. You're making far less and it's exhausting you and it's making you sick. For what? To hold on to men that don't care about you. They care about the money. They'll just take the money. And all they got to do is give a phone call or see you once in a while and they get money. I think Foodie wants Salah and Chantal wants Nads. Ooh, that's good. That's very good. I like that. That's an interesting take. There is Chantal, there is Foodie. And I think one wants one and one wants the other. Very interesting take, Clickety. I think you're right. I think Foodie wants Salah for the camera to show off on camera, and Chantal wants Nads because Natter is off camera and makes her happy in other ways. But she wants to have her cake and eat it too. And like Neo said, you can't have your cake. Girl, stop eating that cake. Stop it. You know, she wants the bad boy behind the scenes that can ring her bells. And she wants a lot in front of the camera to give her like validation that she is still married. So that works. That actually works. Wow. That's an interesting way of thinking about that and on point. I like that. I like that a lot.
Because even in me saying that, Spirit said, but he's no saint. I get it. Foodie Beauty, current energy. What you want wants you. And that is so true. Whatever frequency, whatever time you own, that's what you get. That's the frequency. Whatever your heart desires, you're matching that frequency. You get what you get and don't throw a fit. So
yep. What you want wants you. So what does Chantal want? She wants Salah, but she can't have Salah. But Putting him aside for a minute, what does she want? She wants validation. She wants attention. She wants to be a big deal. She likes the money. She likes making the money. She wants to be a superstar somewhere. So she's going to get that money, like doing all those requests for the feeders and satisfying them, and they give her praise. She wanted to live in a nice house. She got it. She wanted to have enough money to go out and order takeout several times a day. She got it. She wanted to be back in Canada where she could stream and do what she wants to do. She got it. She wanted to live in a place where there was, the food court on one side and the Walmart on the other. She got it. She got the things that she wanted. Sunburst Tarot did a reading recently, and I recommend watching that. And the first thing I picked up before I got started was Spirit was telling me fulfillment versus unfulfillment. There is fulfillment in certain ways with Chantal, but there's a great deal of unfulfillment in other ways, in other areas. The fulfillment that she's getting is she wanted to make more money. Okay, she's making more money, and she can do what she wants, and no one's going to be there to criticize her and to stop her. She wanted to come back to Canada and eat all the takeout and eat all the junk food. She got it. She got fulfillment as far as her addictions. Her addictions are being fulfilled. But on a personal level, beneath the surface, she's very unfulfilled. Like, she gets the money and she's fulfilled with the money, but then after she spends the money in some way, there's a sense of emptiness and unfulfillment. So even the fulfillment is leading to emptiness and unfulfillment. It's a vicious, crazy 8. It's a vicious cycle of, I feel fulfilled for a minute, but I'll circle back around to emptiness, and around we go. She wanted to be somewhere and be alone and be in charge of herself, but there's an emptiness about her life now, and she's trying to fill it up with food, with party favors, with coming online and talking to people. None of it's working. And that's because where the emptiness is coming from is not her stomach. It's her soul. It's her spirit. Her spirit is empty. There's no substance. There's nothing of substance there. So she tries to fill up the emptiness, but the emptiness always comes back, and it's just getting worse. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. What makes addiction so awful is that addiction is never satisfied. It always wants more and more and more and more and more and more. It's never satisfied. Her as a food addict, the addiction is not going to go, well, you ate takeout 10 times today. That's enough. We're good. No, it wants more. It's a switch that never turns off. You always want more, and the addiction grows and grows and grows, and it gets out of your control, and hers is out of her control. She needs professional help. It's about the emptiness. Yeah, like after she eats all that food, and I'm just speculating here, when she eats, that short circuits how she feels inside. Like if she feels full, it short circuits any negative emotion or feeling or thought in her head for just a short period of time. But then she has to eat more to get that feeling back. Hi, Ripped. How are you? But there's an emptiness there just consuming. But what you want wants you. You're wanting the food, you're going to get the food. You want to satisfy the feeders, you're going to satisfy them. For a time. What you want wants you, but the things that she wants are not good for her. Not at all.
That's where she's at. What she wants, she gets. Mm-hmm. Low vibration, high. No. Oh. What you want, you get. Are you attracting imprisonment? mentally, physically, emotionally.
You know, I'm interpreting that imprisonment card as, I think she wants to, and this is just a thought. This is not an absolute. I think that she wants to be bedbound. I think she's really going for that. She wants to be bedbound. She likes the idea of other people taking care of her. She doesn't want to take care of herself. That's why she hates being in that house. She has to take care of herself. She doesn't have anybody to clean up after her or look after her or she doesn't have a servant of sorts. She wants to be taken care of. And there's nobody around taking care of her, and she doesn't like that. I don't know if she's trying to go for bedbound, but I'm sure there are a lot of people that are bedbound that would love to have their mobility back. It's not going to be what she thinks it is if she does get it. And I don't know if Foodie is going to watch this react, but I would like to bring to the surface something important for Chantal. Think about the many things that you wanted and you envisioned them to be, and then the reality came about. Like there was the fantasy, and then there was the reality. You fantasized about a relationship with Nader. How did that turn out for you? You fantasized about going to the Middle East and being with Salah and this big adventure, and it'd be like an Arabian romance. How did that turn out for you? The reality never matches the fantasy. Never. So if you're fantasizing about being bedbound, will the fantasy match the reality? I don't think so. I really don't. And Chantal, you are putting your kidneys through it. If you end up on dialysis, you do realize you're going to be hooked up to a dialysis machine for hours and hours and hours, and that's not going to be any fun. So you might want to slow down with the eating. Okay, just put yourself first. If you care. If you don't care, you're going to be on your path. This right here. I can barely walk around the house. I give anything to not be disabled and be mobile. Yeah, a lot of people would. But she's fantasizing it. She's fantasizing it, and she's actually mocking it. Being on the scooter when she doesn't have to be on the scooter. Like she even said herself, she likes the attention and the help that people give her when she's on that scooter. Like she's fantasizing it somehow. Like, I like the attention. I want the attention. There are other ways to get attention. Positive ways. And she's not going for the positive. She's going for the not positive. But the imprisonment card, I think she wants to be somewhere where she's taken care of. And yet, I say again, who's going to take care of Foodie? Who around her has the capabilities, has the time, has the money to take care of her? She might end up being a ward of the state because no one else can do it. I don't think there's anybody in her family that's going to pay thousands of dollars for her hospice care. You know, like these are things she needs to think about.
Spiritually. And Spirit says you need to ascend to the highest level of human existence. And there's a double play on that. That is interesting because this could be spiritual or physical.
Allison.
I feel like this deck wants to talk. Comes out again. What I want wants me. Energetic match to your heart's desire. Soul purpose. Manifest and attract. She's attracting what she wants.
Yeah, Chantal does that a lot. She tries to do the manifestation thing. She thinks that if she speaks it aloud and she thinks about it, like trying to do the manifestation thing, that it will just come to her. But here's the thing about manifestation, Foodie. If you want something, let me just make an example. Let's just say somebody in my audience says, you know what? I want $5,000 to pay off some rent and pay my bills and do my thing. If somebody out there says, I want $5,000, okay, you start thinking about what I want $5,000, what you're going to do with the money. You got to put action behind your thoughts. You've got to create a road in which that $5,000 can come to you. Go out and do different things and get involved in society and maybe get a job or have like a side hustle. How else is that $5,000 going to come to you? Sitting in your house and waiting for it to come is not going to make it happen. Yeah, her brain stops at the manifestation part. You can't just talk about it and think about it constantly. You've got to put some action behind the thoughts and the words. You're creating like an energy, and you're putting the energy out there. But even if you put it out there through thought and word, action is needed. Action is needed. How can what you want reach you if you're not creating a path for it to reach you? It's just not going to happen. And I'm getting something from this card. What I want wants me. Ooh. Is that how she's feeling about Salah? What I want wants me. She wants him. She wants him to stay in her energy field. She wants him to stay in her life. So maybe she's convincing herself that he wants her too. No, he don't. No, he don't. And neither does Natter. But she might be trying to convince herself what I want wants me. It's not always though. Not every, no person in the world can have everything they want, but that's okay. Because the things that you want may not be good for you. Not every person is meant for you. What is meant for you will come to you, and you won't have to force it. She's a forcer. She's trying to force something that is not meant for her.
It's like, like attracts like.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get. That's what she wants for herself. Everybody gets a choice. Your choices are a direct reflection of what you believe you deserve. But with that, there is a message from the Ravens. And I see two. So there's a choice that needs to be made. Life and death. It's in the power of your hands.
That card gave me chills. That Ravens card gave me chills. She needs to pay attention. That card gave me chills. Ravens, Chantal. I hope you know what that means.
Spirit says, honor what is ending. Foodie beauty. Death. Coffin.
So we had the Ravens. We had the death coffin. Skull. What do you think that means, Chantal? What do you think those mean together? To me, it feels like you're not preserving your life. You're just waiting for something bad to happen. You know what? I agree with you, Belle. I agree with you. Oh, I lost the comment. Sorry. But you're not preserving your life. Your body is screaming for help. Your mind is screaming for help. Your spirit is screaming for help. It's saying, please help us. We're in pain. You're in pain, but you don't want the help. And I agree that the feeders, they're pressing her forward, but we got to be fair here. Let's be fair. Chantal has had an eating problem for 30 years since she was very, very young. And she's known all about it. She's not ignorant to it. She knows she's got an issue. And she has to be the one to take the first step to fix it. She's got to reach her hands up to the universe and say, I am over my head. I don't have the answers. I need help. She's got to reach out for the help and be ready for the help. Because she could have a whole team of doctors ready to work round the clock to help her. Ready to work for free. It's not going to matter if she's not ready. And unfortunately, some addicts are not, they'll never be ready. They just deny until it's too late. Addiction will take her life if she doesn't get help, period. Her body can't put up with much more. I mean, I was watching her last night and going, my God, woman, slow down. What is wrong with you? And she'll never be ready because that she's got to break through that wall of the ego is keeping her trapped. That is her tower. Y'all have seen the tower card in tarot. The tower. She put herself in a tower long ago of her own making. And the tower is composed of ego. She put herself high in that tower and separated herself from everybody just to look down on people, just to feel like she was above everyone, above everything. That tower of ego trapped her. But a tower's got to come down at some point, and she's got to come back down to earth and be a part of things and say, I'm human. I don't have all the answers. But she's got to be ready for it. She's got to be ready. Yep, and the past has her in chains. Chantal has said she doesn't like change. She said the change is scary, and I understand that change is scary. It is scary for a lot of people. She's not the only one afraid of change. We all sometimes gravitate towards the old familiar because it is familiar, but some things have to change. They have to. They have to. You can't stay locked in a tower of ego forever, especially if you're making yourself unhappy. Yeah, it's really strange. Like, she's a narcissist, vain, very vain, or at least acting vain, and yet she doesn't take care of herself. She doesn't. She neglects herself. But they're right, the past is in her chains. But those cards gave me chills right there. Death coffin, skull, ravens. Ooh. It's time to make a change.
You can't fix it.
No.
You can't fix them. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men could not put Humpty together again. And there's this energy of you being dishonest, saying you don't care what people say. You don't care. Spirit says those are lies. You've attracted this too. You've attracted verbal abuse because you verbally abuse.
Mm-hmm.
You've attracted brokenness because you are broken.
Yep.
You've attracted death mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, because that is you. You've attracted ending and honoring what's ending because that is you. It is ending. And the ravens have come to parallel this message, to co-sign this message, essentially. You're right. You're absolutely right. What you want wants you. Foodie Beauty, current energy. Speaking up, she's overly active with the throat chakra, talking about her heartbreak and the messages and defending herself. Subconsciously, she believes that in doing so, it's going to bring her some form of relaxation, some form of earned income, some form of happiness and content. And speaking up, she feels very at peace. What all she's doing is gaslighting these folks. She's even gaslighting herself. It feels like she believes the lies.
Yeah.
Psychosis. I've said that before too. Reality distortion, emotional manipulation, questioning sanity, you're imagining things, Foodie Beauty. And speaking of that, she sees herself as a CEO. Like, she sees herself as big boss energy, taking control.
Yeah, she does. She's riding on a high note right now. because she's making all kinds of money. And she's looking around her and saying, I got a nice place. I'm making all kinds of money. She feels like she's in control of something. At the same time, she's out of control. And a lot of people might ask the question, why does Foodie Beauty lie so much? Why does she continue to tell lies when obviously she gets caught in them left and right? What is the purpose of this? Is she acting as a troll? Yeah, she is. But here's another take. I think when she tells lies, it's not so much of her telling lies to other people, expecting the lies to be believed. She's lying more to herself than she is to us. I think she likes to live in a world of fantasy and delusion and manifestation. And in order to do that, she's got to lie because the reality is too much for her to take. So she's not lying thinking she's going to get away with it. She knows she's not. She gets caught in her lies all the time. But I think when she tells those lies, she's not telling them the girl we're thinking we're stupid. It's just her keeping this fantasy, delusional world for herself going. Like it's the window dressing. Think of it like that. It's about the window dressing. The window dressing is very important to Foodie. Like how things look versus how things are. Does that make sense? Like a window display. She likes a certain kind of window display and how people look at things and how she thinks people see her. But step away from the window, the view is a lot different. Yep, and I believe that too. And this. Like she's creating her own little world within the world. And she thinks that by manifestation and lying, she can keep that going. So that's just my take on the whole thing.
I'm the boss. Okay. All right. Yeah, Spirit said you the boss, but you also talk a lot of shit. You move in silence. It's like throwing rocks and hiding your hands. There's a girl fight between you and who? I don't know who. Y'all need to tell me. And even in the midst of this argument, you're trying to look happy, but you know you down bad, sad, mad, dusty, crusty, musty. And Spirit is also acknowledging that you're threatening people.
Oh.
That you feel threatened and bothered.
Uh-oh.
And so then you intimidate. And then you go looking for comments. You're watching the comments. You're reading each one.
Yeah, we know all about that, don't we, girl world? Her getting in comments. Hello, Sarah Lee. Getting in the comments with her little sock accounts and saying things to people on her live streams. Like she's around the community. You know she is. You know she's watching people, seeing what people say. She's been going off a lot about the reactors lately. I don't know what the trigger is. We're just doing what we normally do. But she's just been extra rah, rah, rah about the reactors. It's like, girl, why are you bothered? You're on Kick. You're doing your thing on Kick. Why are you rah, rah, rah about the reactors? Like, we're still doing what we normally do. Nothing has changed. You're not even like having a meltdown or a true rage or something has come out. Like, why are you so triggered? But, you know she's around the community. We know you are, Foodie. We also know that you're on Twitter somewhere, spying on people. You hate Twitter, but you'll go to Twitter. And if you're not there, one of your beaters is probably looking out for you. I know that they're all over the reaction channels reporting back to you, trying to be snitches. But she's all over the community. She wants to see what people say. And that is a game that Foodie's played for a long time. I remember back during Cracked Olympics, like she would do a live stream or she would do a video to set people off. And then she would spend the rest of the time, all the time, running around the different reaction channels to see what lies were believed and what were exposed. Like she kind of used Girl World as a fact checker. Like, oops, this appeared in a video. I should go back and cut it out. I didn't notice this. She looks to Girl World to figure out the things that she did not notice at the time. Yeah, she's been over here, Sage. Foodie's come over here, Sarah Lee, in the comments. She even, used my intro music a few times during her videos. She's everywhere. So, it's a real shame. Chantal is a very defiant person. She could actually take that defiance and turn it inside out and make it work for her, but she doesn't know how to do that. She's using it the wrong way versus the right way.
Spirit says that will have you eating ice cream out of the pint,
Mm-hmm.
looking at the comments. Because a part of you want to say something, but you just never do.
Why, yeah.
And then sometimes you'll pick and choose a comment and then you go, berserk. But you're fishing for it, knowing that it's going to have you emotional, and then you do something that sabotages your overall well-being by doing things like eating. Spirit is showing me the cake and the ice cream. Okay.
So she's running around Girl World, looking at comments, watching lives, deliberately triggering herself. And while she's deliberately triggering herself, she's eating. That's not a good combination. Doing that stress eating, doing that emotional eating. That's not good. Because I'll tell you what, there's nothing like negative emotion that if you have an addiction, it's going to send it into overdrive. If you have a food addiction, you'll eat more food. If you have an addiction to alcohol or other drugs, you'll just, you're mad and you'll do a lot more than what you want to just because you're mad. If you're a smoker, you'll smoke them cigarettes like they're going out of style. When you get mad like that, and she triggers herself. She is triggering herself when she should be staying away from those things.
What else, Spirit?
Hi, Hannah.
You're hustling. You're making it rain. Mm-hmm. This makes me feel like, and I've said this before, I don't know how you make money, but this doesn't feel right.
No.
This makes me feel like there's some things that you're doing on a different platform that don't seem, that's not normal.
Yep. There we go. There it is. What have I been saying? What have I said? The bulk of her money is not made in front of the camera in front of us. Hello, Rose. The bulk of her money is not on TikTok or Kick. It's behind the camera where we can't see. She's doing all those requests, y'all. That's why we see some of the weirdness on Kick that we do. Like I've seen her do different things like catering to the adult baby fetish and the poo fetish and her situation of going to the bathroom with her camera and the crotch shots. Who do you think that's for? That she's attracting clients or she's taking client requests while she's live. So she started out catering to the food fetish and then she branched out to include other things that might connect with that, or she could include with that, maybe little things she could do on camera where she wouldn't get in trouble. Foodie thought she was so smart long ago, thinking I could just eat on camera and get my money, and she did. She made a lot of money. She thought, I'm so smart. I got this really simple, easy system for making money. No, he doesn't mind. He doesn't mind at all, Deborah. He's in Syria. And if he's still getting money from Chantal, he don't care what she does as long as she sends him the money. I'm going to make up an amount because I don't know what she sends him and how often. But let's just say she sent him $500 a month. Over in Syria, $500 a month is a lot. A lot. And you could do a lot with that money. He don't care what she does. He don't care what she does as long as she makes that money and sends him money. Same thing with Natter. He doesn't care. They're not in a relationship with her. She's just a pay pig. And I know this sounds rude, but that's what she is to these men, is a pay pig. And they don't have to touch her. They don't have to have intimate relations with her. It's like, where do I sign up? All I got to do is talk to you and you'll send me a bunch of money. Where do I sign up? He doesn't care. Yep. And I think so too, Janie. The moment she said, I need a laptop, I'm like, I bet I know what that's for. That's not for finding an outside the house job. That's for other work. Because she has it in the bedroom. Why do you need that laptop in the bedroom? When you got a chair and you got a Surface right there in the kitchen, why is it not there? As long as Foodie wants to be an ATM, she'll be treated like an ATM. This is what she wants, just so she can maintain a connection with two men that don't care about her, will never care about her. And if she runs out of money, they would stop talking to her. Like, I don't know if this is true, but who knows what they did? Who knows? But I think she was doing a lot of stuff over in Kuwait as well. I don't think she could do a lot of stuff in Syria because of the internet being so bad, but she was doing stuff over in Kuwait for sure.
Not good for you. And people are talking shit about it subconsciously, but so are you. This is very interesting. Like, this energy about you not liking you, you being your worst enemy, is very diabolical. Very diabolical. And it's all over TV. It's played out. Okay. Foodie Beauty, current energy. I'm not going to touch that one. I'm not going to touch that one, Spirit. Said there's a gentleman saying, hello.
Oh.
Okay. And okay, this gentleman is saying, hello, you remember me? Yeah.
Ooh.
You got a court date on you got some legal issues, and they're just reminding you. You know, when they say sending you some, she's trying to get some healing vibration toward it. You know, when someone says, hi, this is a collect, it's, you know what? Are you going to get served here? Oh. Interesting. Because the spirit's like,
uh-oh. I shouldn't be laughing, but it's like, girl, what are you doing over there that you might get served? What are you doing, Foodie? Eesh. If she does get served with something, you know she's going to run. She already wants to run. Like, she's had that energy for more than a minute. Every time I do readings on Foodie, the travel cards pop up. She wants to run. She does not want to be there. Does she have the money to pay rent? Yes, she does. She's making that money. But Foodie, she's in that addiction brain of like, I just want to save my money for what I want to do when I want to do it. I want to have enough money for my fast food. I want to have money for my junk food. I want to have money to buy stuff on Amazon. I don't want to spend it on rent. You know, it's making her sick at the idea of paying $2,000 plus for rent. She'll, leave in the middle of the night and go to a motel before she pays $2,000 in rent. Like, she's not going to say, yeah, I got to pay rent because I need a place to live. She wants to save that money for her. She doesn't want to pay that money for rent. So, like, I'm feeling that energy, Foodie. You want to escape. You want to leave. You've been wanting to leave. You've been trying to figure out a way to make it happen. Maybe you thought the girl world would help you in that regard by reporting you to the apartment complex, and it didn't happen. And I'm sure that pissed you off. You were trying to use girl world to get out of the place where you're living, because that's what happened before in the other apartment. You got a pretty decent apartment. You didn't want to be there, though. You want to go back to Syria. So you showed the apartment, and you were trying to use girl world as a way to get out of the lease. You can't use us for that purpose this time.
Like, you have a call, a random call from someone, and then you think that you're talking to like a salesperson. They're like, no, just want to let you know, like, yeah, see you in court on Monday.
Uh-oh.
And this brings me back to something that I said, because I'm channeling this message as well, that this year is going to be a hell of a year for you. Belt to ass season. But even the legalities that you're dealing with are meant to happen for you. It's a form of healing because it makes you face yourself. It makes you face your truth. Yeah. Okay, when it comes to Foodie Beauty, there is this whispering of information. There's something that she's saying that's not completely true. And she's obsessed with it because it keeps someone in bondage.
I got a feeling I know who that is. Salah. My money is on Salah. I think the false narrative is that he's still talking to her and they're still married, when perhaps they were never married, or like when she left Syria, they were supposed to be completely done. My money is on that because it has to do with obsession, her obsession with being with a man, being claimed by a man in this bondage. She's trying to keep him quiet. She wants to keep that obsession going. It's like thank you, Spirit, emotional mirage. She's creating a sort of emotional mirage for herself, the window dressing, if you will. Like she wants to appear as, we're still married, he still cares about me, we still talk, when they really don't talk that much. And this too, the Kai Bella conversation, she keeps shaming him about it. Yeah, when she could easily drop it. But she keeps bringing it up. She keeps bringing it up. But I think the false narrative has to do with, he still cares about me. And she said recently, oh, there's a trip to Japan. What trip to Japan? Why would he take you? She's trying to act like he wants to take her on trips. He doesn't want to take her on any trip. But just in word, in thought, she's trying to manifest this idea of, this man cares about me so much that he's going to take a trip with me. No, he's not. No, he's not. So she's trying to use some shame on Salah to keep him quiet. That's what I think the false narrative is about.
Unable to speak and unable to move. And it feels like Salah.
Yeah.
There's this thing that you say about him, and you're obsessed with this storyline. You're obsessed with it. But he doesn't say anything. It's total destruction, total madness, upheaval, chaos. Why doesn't he speak up about this?
Yeah, why not?
I know what you're going to say, Spirit. He will. Thank you. Because he's trying to get into alignment with his higher self. He is trying to be serene. He's trying. Okay, and the Spirit just whispered to me, Ramadan is coming. And so,
yeah, and I'm going to say something before Neo goes on. This is what Spirit is telling me. He doesn't want to fan the flames. He doesn't want the flame to get any bigger. He'd rather walk away from the flame than fan the flame. And Ramadan is coming. So he might be focusing on Ramadan and spending time with his family. And his attitude might be, well, I don't want to deal with this right now. I'm trying to cleanse myself of this person and just give some distance, give some space. I don't want to deal with this right now. I got to do Ramadan, which is coming up very, very soon. And it just, he wants it to go away. I've picked up on Salah's energy. He doesn't want to get nasty with her. He really, really doesn't. he was actually hoping that if she came back to Canada, that she would just go on with her life and just let him go quietly. And he doesn't understand with Chantal, there is no letting go. She doesn't let men go. And you're right, he's not a nice person. You're right, Deborah. He's got a part to play in this. He kept it going for as long as he did out of greed. And now there's a price to pay for that. He's not a good person. He did some bad things, but they're both guilty in this. It takes two to tango. She wanted to dance. He wanted to dance with her. They danced. There was toxicity. There was destruction. There was chaos. So he actively participated in a lot of things. But now he's like, I want to be let go. And she's not letting him go. Yep. And that true. He is, but so is she. You attract what you are most like. She's a scammer and a liar. He's a scammer and a liar. So she attracted someone who was a lot like her. And two scammers. Yep. Why not say no, thank you? He could have said that too. Why not say no, thank you? I don't want your money. It could be because of greed. It could be because as long as he was accepting the money, it pacified her into thinking we still have a connection and she won't go off on me. I think they both have secrets on each other. See, Chantal is, I'm going to say it, she's a dangerous, obsessed person. She is. She's a dangerous, obsessive person. And when you're dealing with somebody that unstable, that emotionally unstable, you don't know what they're capable of. You don't know what they're going to do. And it can be kind of scary. You don't know what they're going to say. You don't know what they're going to do. And if he's got secrets and she knows those secrets, he's also got a family. He may not want destruction to fall upon his family more than what's already happened. She's already publicly humiliated and embarrassed him. And he just wants to be like, I want no part of it. So maybe he's just accepting the money to keep her pacified. It may not just be greed. It may just like, let her do what she wants. If she wants to send me money, if I have to just talk to her once in a while, if that keeps her calm to where I have some peace in my life, then that's what I got to do. Because what's the alternative? This obsessed woman who's got nothing in life to lose. And they say that the most dangerous person in the world is someone who has nothing to lose. Who knows what she's capable of? Like we've seen her temper. Like she will go full on hell wrath on Salah. I'm not saying this for y'all to feel sorry for the guy. I'm just saying like this. Keep in mind how dangerous and obsessed she is. She's obsessed with the delusion and keeping it going. And if he comes forward and says, here's what's up, y'all, she will have a full-on meltdown of epic proportions. Because she's got nothing left to lose. Right. This right here. Fat Cal theorized that Salah is giving her just enough attention to keep her pacified. Exactly that. She's got nothing to lose. And he's probably worried about his family, how it will affect the family.
So that, there's this idea that he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. Also, there's this energy that there's a child coming, if it's not already here. Yeah, see, he's trying to get balanced. He knows that the universe is watching. He sees the tarot readings. And I said that to you guys before. He's trying to get in alignment with his soulmate, the divine feminine. Okay, so he's blocked her. He's trying to block out imprisonment, the feeling of being imprisoned with her mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. Yeah, it feels like he's trying to have faith in that. Whatever he practices, he's manifesting, eyes are closed. It's multifaceted, it's juggling and jumbling, but he's trying to bring light to this imprisonment. He's trying to have faith to get himself through this. Anything else when it comes to how Salah feels about Foodie Beauty? Feels like she's the ice queen, cold shoulder, cold hearted. and that she did something in the house.
Yeah, this part kind of confused me. Chantal, what did you do in the house that was unforgivable? What did you do? Did you leave something behind that was disgusting? Like, what did you do to the house? What did you do? I think that Salah and family should give that house a full spiritual cleanse. Get her energy all the way out of there. I don't know what you did, Foodie, but you did something. What did you do to that house?
That is unimaginable and unforgettable. And the boss who has the money feels like we're talking about father.
Dad.
In the distant future. What about him? In the distant future, what? In regards to Foodie, what? The police are going to come and get that narcissist.
Oh.
That flying monkey.
Hmm.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh is right. It sounds like it's not over, y'all. Let me tell y'all something about Dad's energy. Dad's energy is a lot stronger than Salah's. Dad is a wall that will not be moved. And Chantal, Dad does not like the way you treated his son. Dad is strong. Dad is ex-military. Let that sink in. Don't forget about that. Dad is ex-military. Do you understand? Strong person is Dad. And if what I heard is correct, that Dad is staying with Salah, I'm sure father and son have been having some talks about the way you treated Salah, the things that you've done. And I'm also absolutely certain that you being the unhinged person that you are, there's lots of evidence about how unhinged you are. We're talking voicemails, text messages, all of it. There's all kinds of evidence. They can build a very clear picture about how unhinged and obsessed you are. They got all kinds of stuff. Salah's been trying to handle the whole thing of like, silence is the best thing. Just leave her alone. I don't want any part of this. I just want to walk away in peace. But Dad is about sick of your shit. Because you're back in Canada and you still haven't left Salah alone. You still keep trying to reach out to him and contact him. But I've heard that Dad is staying with Salah. And I'm pretty sure part of the reason why is not just because he's retired, but to keep you from coming back. They don't want you in that house. He doesn't want you around Salah. You've done some damage to the entire family. And Dad is standing up and saying, no more of this. So you keep pushing those lines, Dad's going to push back. It only takes one time. He's going to come and he's going to come correct. I don't think you want that because Salah's father is a lot stronger than Salah. And I hear he knows people. He's got connections. I'm not saying that will lead to any kind of physical harm to you, but he knows people, or if he doesn't know people, he can talk to people with that legal advice.
Daddy. All right, Foodie Beauty. Thank you.
The irony of that, the irony of this is that Chantal, she said she's got daddy issues. She's attracted to men with that daddy energy. But Chantal, you haven't felt the full wrath of father energy. You romanticize the daddy energy, but are you ready to deal with the full-on wrath of father, protective father energy? You ain't never dealt with that. Not on this level. Like, you're going to be out of your element when you got to deal with that father energy. You ain't ready for it.
Seizing opportunities with the Four of Cups, anxiety, sadness, fear, depression, letting go of regret, into stagnation, but feeling exhausted. She has lost opportunity, and it's just a lack of enjoyment right now for her. What's her biggest obstacle? Remember, I read biggest obstacle in reverse. Intuition is an obstacle. Childhood issues is an obstacle. Abuse, bad news, broken dreams. Someone who does not plan for tomorrow is an obstacle.
Yeah. And I want to say something else. Chantal's waiting for someone to fix her broken. She's looking for someone to fix what's broken inside of her. But the only one that can fix her broken is her. And she's got to want for it to be fixed. And she doesn't want for it to be fixed. She wants to monetize it. She wants to make a big deal of it. She wants to spotlight it. She wants to make what's broken in her a spectacle. She's treating her broken parts as a spectacle, as a show, as entertainment, rather than say, you know what? This hurts. I don't like it. I don't like all this pain. I want to fix it. Nope, she wants to spotlight everything and monetize every single broken piece she's got. And it's time to fix the broken mirror. It's time to fix it. It's time to rebuild it. It's time to reforge it. She's been spotlighting her broken parts for years. And a lot of people get mad at her and go like, what's wrong with you that you're not wanting to fix the broken parts? Well, Spirit just told me something. Her broken parts are her identity. Her addiction is her identity. The pain is what she identifies with. It's not, hi, I'm Chantal Marie, and this is my identity. Pain, addiction, hurt, obsession is literally her identity, and that's why she can't let it go. It's time to choose a new identity, Foodie, to identify as something else. Because when you are broken and you go to other people, all you're doing is bleeding on other people and affecting other people negatively. And you wonder why they run away. Your pain becomes their pain. Your hurt becomes their hurt. It's time to fix that broken inside of you.
Other obstacle in reverse. Interesting when Spirit does that. It's like confirmation. Intuition is an obstacle. Wow. Because intuition is your inner compass. It's this light and life force. And you're not connected to that. Well, unrequited love is an obstacle. Illusion, escaping, lies, someone with a fragile sense of identity and poor personal boundaries. Knight of Cups, obstacle. The Knight of Cups typically is like around romance, so the Knight in Shining Armor is not, but the Knight in Shining Armor was an illusion. It's what you wanted. It's what you manifested, but it wasn't your reality. And then
notice the Knight had a cup in his hand. That irony is not escaping me. Notice that the Knight on the horse has a cup in his hand. So ironic. That the Knight in Shining Armor that she's wanting, that she's trying to manifest, the Knight has a cup in his hand, like, fill up my cup first. Fill up my cup, so I'll be your Knight. Fill up my cup. I'm coming with an empty cup. Fill it up for me, and I'll be your Knight. No, I haven't seen his father. Which is like, I don't have to see his appearance. Like, his energy is strong. I wouldn't be messing with that, Foodie. I would not be messing with Dad's energy. I mean, like, you want a daddy, but you might be dealing with a full-on father. You ain't ready. You've never been up against that before. A protective father protecting his child. You don't want, just trust me, you don't want nothing to do with that.
And a lack of enthusiasm, sadness, unrealistic expectations, ego, conceitedness, depression, anxiety, sadness, fear, oppression, miscarriage, stillbirth, abortion, obstacle. And that could mean a child, or that could just literally mean that her manifestations, her ideas, her incantations, they're being met with obstacle and or delay. Spirit says one more. 5 of Wands in reverse, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the throwing water onto the flame of romance and business, fizzling it out. Compromise into conflict, reaching an agreement, obstacle, setbacks, disagreements, petty squabbling, all obstacles. Obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. Okay. What else? What's next for Foodie? What's next for Foodie Beauty? Five of Swords. There is some disagreement. There is some budgeting. There is some finances. There's some issue with the 5 of Wands. There is conflict and competition, petty issues, ego, and scattered energy. Interesting. And with the 7 of Swords, she's going to have to really work at this. She's going to have to really be on defense. It feels like she's battle fatigued, though. She's weary. She's overworked and tired. She's got her hands in many pots.
Mm-hmm.
It does feel like this could also include the computer, trying to get some things up and running. Thank you, Spirit. However, with the 6 of Swords, she's going to have to leave even though she doesn't want to.
Bang. Telling you, she doesn't want to be there. Look at that passport in the picture. She wants to leave. She's been trying to find a way out. She does not want to be obligated to a 14-month lease. She's been trying to find a way to slide and slippery her way out of everything. She just can't find a way out. She might be stacking that money, y'all, to go somewhere else. Like, I'm waiting for the first of the month to appear to see what happens. I mean, even if she got evicted, it's going to take a while for them to get her out of there. But if she's got a co-signer or a guarantor for the rent, whoever that person is, the moment she doesn't pay rent or becomes late, I'm sure they're going to get a phone call. Because if you have a co-signer or a guarantor on the rent, like, they get notified immediately, like, hey, that we haven't received rent. They're going to be looking payment from somebody. So whoever helped her get into that apartment, they're going to be notified immediately she hasn't paid rent. I don't know if she had a deal worked out with somebody of, I'll put my name on the lease to get you into the place, and then you could just take it from there. But whoever that person is, they are legally bound and obligated for that rent. So they're going to get notified. They're going to get that phone call, hey, we haven't received our rent payment. And then she's going to get a phone call from that person saying, hey, what's going on? You haven't paid the rent. And whoever that person is, if Foodie does not pay, they're going to be on the hook for it. They're not going to be very happy. Not at all. And they might contest it and say, hey, like, this was the deal. You know what the apartment complex is going to say? Do you know what the legal system is going to say? They're going to say, it doesn't matter. You knew the risk. You took the risk. You're legally bound to this contract. So you're going to have to deal with it. And they're going to be mad, mad, mad.
She could very well, that has a passport on it, be trying to travel overseas. Thank you, Spirit, to leave, to get away from this situation. But it is troubling. Thank you, Spirit. It's a lot of conflict, a lot of battles. Again, she's battle weary. She's fatigued, but she's trying to be the last person standing. However, in the middle of the deck, it looks like she's going to leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've been feeling that too. She wants to leave. She's like, I don't know where she's going to go. I don't know what she's going to do, but she'll run before she sits in that apartment and has to pay rent. I don't know about that. His eyes. I don't know if the auntie has money coming in like that. I mean, because $2,000 a month for rent is a lot. That's a lot to ask. We're not talking $500 or even $1,000. We're talking $2,000 a month. It's a lot of money. A lot of money. Somebody stepped up and helped her get in there. She's got bankruptcies on her record. I'm sure that because of that, the apartment complex said, well, we see this stuff on this person's credit. We need a guarantor. We're kind of nervous. Somebody had to step up and help her out. She didn't do that on her own. No. Especially in the place that she's living, it's pretty nice, isn't it? It's not like a crappy cockroach hole apartment. She wants to run. She really wants to run.
Anything else? There it goes again. Seven of Swords. Tired. Fighting nonetheless. Backed into a corner, but still trying to hold her own. Trying to figure this out. Subconsciously, what you're running from, what you're tired, why you're battle weary is because of the law, because of justice, and justice will prevail. Spiritual justice, karmic justice, physical justice. It is going to prevail in the physical realm and in the spiritual realm. There will be balance. There will be karmic cycles. There will be karma. There will be consequences. There will be cause and effect. Okay? And somebody is going to be victorious. Now, I don't know who this Six of Wands is. I do see fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But somebody is going to be victorious in the midst of this. There will be victory. Someone is going to ride off into the sunset, and someone is going to have a fall from grace. Tell me more, Spirit. This victory and this fall from grace.
Oh.
Who did you marry for money? Who did you travel to marry for money? They are going to have victory because they have photo proof and they have the evidence.
Yep. There's evidence. And maybe that might be another reason why she's been giving Salah money. What have I said before, chat? What does Foodie value? Keeping secrets, finding out other people's secrets. That is her wealth of sorts. She's got a lot of secrets. And she works overtime to keep those secrets hidden. Keeping those secrets. And her nightmare would be if those secrets got out. She would rather pay whatever amount of money to keep those secrets hidden. Nader has secrets about her. Salah certainly has secrets about her. Even Pete has secrets about Foodie Beauty. They all stay quiet. But secrets have a way of, coming back up through the soil, don't they? There's evidence out there and she knows it. And she's been trying so hard to keep those things hidden. So maybe she's been paying some hush money to some people to keep things quiet, but it's breaking her back to keep it hidden, to do all that work for what? So nobody finds out the truth about you.
Feels like Salah. Mm-hmm. And when he's ready to share, you are definitely going to want to leave. And we're turning the camera off then. Spirit says, because that was your last chance. They lost it, or you did. Sending y'all love and light.
So that was a wonderful reading from Neo Tarot. I mean, we heard about how Foodie paid $9,000 to Salah. The thing is, did he marry for money or did she? Or was it both? I don't know. But that was a wonderful reading from Neo Tarot. If you guys want, we could do the Twitter peeps right now. A Foodie did like a 4 to 5 hour live stream. That's going to be a monster to go over. There's large parts of it that I'm going to leave out just because she's eating, and also because during part of her live stream, she was playing copyrighted stuff. She was showing clips of The Simpsons. I'm leaving that out. No, 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 no. I'm not reviewing that. She was showing like a Simpsons episode. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. We ain't going there. We ain't doing that. You want to go to Twitter? Okay, we'll do the Twitter peeps. I've been collecting them. All right, you guys know what time it is. It's time for the Twitter peeps. All right, it's time for the Twitter peeps. So let me just go ahead and get out of here and go straight to them. I think the marriage was a business deal. I think so too. I think it was all about the money. In my opinion, I feel that Foodie, she wanted to know what it was like to be in a relationship and to be married. So she paid for an on camera marriage, and she kept paying to keep it going. Like, it's the window dressing, public image. It was never really real though. But to her, public image is everything. So she kept up with it. It was fake. It was phony. It was for TV. You know, it was like a script. But in her, maybe she started out knowing it was fake, but then, you know, Foodie gets emotionally tied up, involved. And the more longer it went on, the more she actually believed it was real. But let me just go ahead and go to Twitter. We'll get the Twitter peeps done while we're here. All right. So for those of you that are on Twitter and you want to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. And for those of you not on Twitter, that's why I do the peeps. So you guys can see what was happening in Girl World without actually having to be there. So here's a post from Queen Jellybean saying Foodie Beauty claiming she did 15 minutes on the machines. She gets out of breath and nearly blanks from riding a scooter or walking from her couch to the kitchen. But suddenly when the camera isn't on, she's doing 15 minutes on the elliptical and is ready to go down and do it again. Sure, Jan. Sure. Using a scooter inside your house, but you're going to go down and do a full workout. Okay. Now, we'd know if she went down and did a workout because she would be sore. If you've never worked out, you're going to be sore and you're going to be tired when you're done. You're going to be coated in sweat. You're going to need a shower as soon as you're done. She ain't going and working out. No, she's not. Especially in a public place. That ain't happening. You ain't working out, Foodie. Are you saying that for Salah's benefit? Because he don't care. And I will warn you guys, she's been doing a lot of stuff lately where she's been rage baiting people. Well, there's been an uptick in rage bait content. She's really poking at people for the rage bait. But here's the crazy thing. She's not even on YouTube where she can like rage bait and make the most money. She's just rage baiting people randomly. So this tweet from Enigma 2025 says she laughs at people jumping off bridges or getting blanked. Let's watch.
The guy jumped off a bridge, yes. That was sad, but stupid, so. Yeah. Did you see the one where the car went off the bridge?
Now, I want to bring back something you guys should know about Foodie. A little interesting fact about Chantal. In the past, she confessed that she liked to watch plane crash videos for amusement. Like, she just likes to do that in her spare time. She likes to see like tragedy videos for fun. Just letting y'all know, this has been an ongoing thing with her.
Russia's terrifying. Yeah. What is it? The dolphin prison or something? Quebec City. Yeah, it's very nice. Oh, Nicole. Hey, never apologize. Listen to me. I was calling them friggin' see you and Tuesdays, and I shouldn't be. So, you're always welcome here, Nicole. If they want to be nice. No, I'm just kidding. Cartel is scary as shit. Do you ever see those videos of what they do to their opponents and stuff? Oy, oy, oy. Bro.
You know, Foodie, I'm sensing a theme here. I think the theme of the day, of the week, of the month is destruction. You are highly focused on destruction. You are focused on destroying yourself, and you're liking to watch videos of chaos and destruction. There seems to be an ongoing theme, y'all. Destruction, chaos. You're really hyper focused on that. I don't know why, but you're all about hurting yourself and watching other people get hurt. It's really twisted. You talk about positive energy and positive change. At the same time, you're destroying yourself and you like to watch other people getting hurt. So you're not exactly putting out that energy of positive change, are you? You like to see pain. You like to see death. You like to see destruction and suffering. Like it's really attractive to you for some reason. You're weird. Ron says, why does she look proud? Moth T says a blood sugar level of 16 converts to approximately 288 milligrams DL. Keep eating, cuties. So yeah, that happened. I know it's kind of blurry, but there's the reading. 16. And she thinks that's funny. It's all amusing to her. 16. That's hospital level right there. That's insanity. And if I got it wrong? Did she take this reading after a meal or before a meal? Because I think that she took this reading not directly after meal, so it actually might be higher. But she just won't stop eating. Enigma 2025 says, I thought she wasn't showing anything medical related anymore. Now she's asking for $5 or subscriptions if you want to see her blood sugar results. That is one of the reasons why she lost her monetization, was the missing medical info about her health and mental health. So I got to ask the question, Foodie. Are you deliberately making yourself ill so you can go on Kick and say, hey, if you want to see my blood sugar reading, it's going to cost you $5? You are monetizing your lack of health and your diabetes to make money, because that's twisted AF. I'm a diabetic and I'm going to eat a bunch of food and my blood sugar reading is going to be to the heavens. So for those of you in my audience that you have some kind of morbid medical fetish, if you want me to satisfy it, you got to pay $5. Is that who you're doing that for? Let's watch the clip.
How much is it going to cost to see you check it? A grifter. I'm a grifter. I'm a lifter. Holy crap. Okay, I'm never eating that again in my life. I've never checked my blood sugar before after eating a meal like this.
Yes, you have. You've done it before. You did it in Kuwait. You're just doing it now because this might tie into the feeders who want to see just how much you're eating. The feeders want to know you're eating all that fast food and your blood sugar readings are through the roof.
16. Shit, it was 12. That's awful. I feel like I can't eat any.
Oh,
Yeah. $23.
yeah, and you're right. You're right. She's just baiting for more subscribers to make more money. Her greed is over the roof. You know, I think it goes beyond greed. I think it's just the money is just another obsession. She's obsessed with the money, making the money. She's literally obsessed with it because it makes her feel important, in control. It gives her validation. Oh, like, I'm making all this money doing all this content. Therefore, I should stick with it. And I shouldn't let it go. Like, the more money she gets, the more requests that she gets, the more she validates it in her mind as this is what I'm supposed to do. This is the correct way to make money. Some of them do, Billy. Some of them do. There's different kinds of feeders. And then there are the death fat feeders. They have an obsession with, wanting someone that they're feeding to pass away, I guess. Some of them are sick like that. And there are people like Chantal that don't mind catering to those feeders. Because they're getting money. They think it's okay because I'm making money. At the same time that their health is bad. Very, very bad. And sometimes the feedie fetish, it has to do with domination and control. There are some feedies out there that seek out people that they can feed and feed and feed until they become bedbound, because that's the ultimate form of domination and control. It's a very toxic, twisted way to get it. Because once somebody becomes bedbound, then they are completely reliant on the person who is the feeder. It's like that whoever that person is who's the dominant one, like, they have control over that person. That person can't move. They can't go to the bathroom. They can't do anything without somebody's help. See, it's the most toxic, twisted form of domination and control. They like having that control over someone.
The gym is open 24/7, yeah. Yeah, in Kuwait, it was like 24.
Okay, so that was the clip. Let's move on to something else. Enigma 2025 says she's not, though. She's the first at the cookouts. Let's watch.
Cartels might want to make you carnitas. Oh, if they want to be nice. No, I'm just kidding. Cartel is scary as shit. Do you ever see those videos of what they do to their opponents and stuff? Cartels might want to make you carnitas. Oh, if they want to be nice. No, I'm just kidding. Cartel is scary as shit. Do you ever see those videos of what they do to their opponents and stuff?
Yeah, that's silly. Okay. Ashley says Chantal claimed that FIV and feline leukemia are the same thing. I know it's shocking, but she's wrong. I was yelling at my TV while watching. So, to catch everybody up, those who were not around back in the day, Pete's had a cat named Timbit. Timbit had feline, did she have feline leukemia? And she stayed in Pete's room the entire time. She never came out. And I don't know why Chantal may be talking about Timbit and feline leukemia, because Timbit wasn't even her cat. She had very little interaction with Timbit. Timbit was sequestered in Pete's room and could not leave the room because of that. But here's some things to note. Oh, okay, I guess we got to go to another. I was trying to blow it up. Hold on. And it blew up into a link. Let's go to the link real quick. There we go. Okay, what is the difference between FIV and FELV? FIV, fever and low white cell count, ocular disease, neurologic signs, behavior, atavia, seizure, lymphoma, upper respiratory infection, ocular infections, disease process, kittens and geriatric geriatric cats exhibit clinical signs. The virus can become quiet, but eventually signs reemerge. As the immune system becomes depleted, cats develop secondary infection. Housing. FIV cats can actually live with their housemates as long as they don't fight. Testing. All new cats and kittens at their first visit, cats that can get into fights, especially if they fought the year before. Outdoor cats or housemates of FIV infected, cats that should be tested annually. Confirmatory test. Once a cat tests positive, they are lifelong carriers of the virus. Prevention. Keeping cats indoors is the best way to keep your cat and neighboring cats healthy. Vaccine, although available, is not recommended at this time. And then there's FELV. What are the signs for that? Fever, anemia, low red blood cell count, low platelet counts, low white blood cells, lymphoma, chronic infection of skin, bladder, upper respiratory tract. Disease process. Similarly, this also has multiple phases where cats can go into a phase of disease that becomes more difficult for them to fight off infections or other immune system challenges. Cats in the progressive phase typically pass away within 3 years. Housing. FELV cats usually have to be isolated from housemates. Testing. All cats or kittens prior to introduction to the new house, prior to receiving their first vaccinations, sick cats. Confirmation results. Secondary tests include IFA, which assesses active infection and or bone marrow involvement. Prevention. Keeping cats indoors. Vaccination administered to a kitten at 8 to 9 weeks of age, with a second booster 3 or 4 weeks later. Vaccine is boosted annually. So there is a difference between the two. There is a definite difference between the two. They're not the same. Okay, let's go back to Twitter. And thank you for posting that, Ashley. Okay, we got to do something positive. This person says, as a result of growing up with guinea pigs, the cat has become like the queen who reigns over the rodents. So, y'all look at this. Look at this. We get this big fluffy floof taking care of guinea pigs. Loving on them. Being like a giant heater for the guinea pigs. And they're just loving the cat. Taking care of the guinea pigs like kittens. Look. Y'all just look. Look at that face. See, different animals can live together and form friendships and bonds. Look at that. Loving on those guinea pigs. Oh boy. Nana Spike T says, nothing says modesty like flashing the crowd. Yep. She's a modest one, all right. Look at her being modest. There's an example of her modesty. Her wearing her abaya and lifting it up for people, nearly to her boobs. Here's something else that's positive from Nature Unedited. There is a symbiotic relationship between a goby fish and a certain shrimp. The gobies, which have better eyesight, watch for threats, while the shrimp, who are better diggers, dig and maintain the burrow. Both use the burrow to sleep at night and for protection from predators. So, talk about best buddies. So the goby's like, the goby acts as a lookout, and the shrimp is like the one who makes the house. It's like, you keep a lookout for me. Goby's like, I got your back. Goby is the lookout and lets the shrimp know when there's danger. The shrimp does all the work. So a symbiotic relationship. All right, moving on to a repo widow saying, this is all for Salah. She made more empty promises about fixing herself so they can be together. Newsflash, that will never happen. This is all performative and will end very soon. Oh, she went to the gym? Is that what she did? Let's watch. All right, come on, Circle of Death. Let's go. Nope. We're not doing the music. Wow, that's a nice treadmill. Look at that. Look at that. That is a nice treadmill. You got something to look at while you're walking? That's a nice treadmill. Girl, why aren't you using it? What is the matter with you? You pay all that rent and you got an amazing treadmill to walk on, and you're not using the doggone thing. Look, look, that's not a cheap one. Look at all the controls, and she's got something to look at while she's walking. So it simulates walking in the mountains on one speed. Yeah. But that's a nice treadmill. I'd love to have it. It's like it keeps you distracted while you're working out and kind of gives you something to look at. You're walking on the mountains in there. And look what she put. Gym vlog, workout motivation when she's not really working out. Like she's really trying to put herself into different algorithms on YouTube. She's labeling this a workout motivation video and she's not really working out. But she likes to use those tags, try to bring people in, try to get new people in her audience. I'd be in the gym every day if I lived there. Me too. Or every other day. You got to have a day of rest, Billy. You can't work out every day. You got to let your muscles repair after tearing them up. But I'd be down there. Shoot, if I'm paying $2,000 in rent and there's a free gym, you best believe I'd be working out. Going down there like with a Walkman or something and like walking, using the bikes, using those ellipticals. Heck yeah. If you're paying the rent and that's included, why not? Why not? You pay for it. Might as well use it. Free gym. Well, not free. You're paying for it, but still, you got access to it. And here we go from Ron saying, whoa. Queen Jellybean says, I've been taking the collagen and using rosemary oil every day. Foodie Beauty, you might want to stop. It's not giving Boss Beach that can get any man. It's giving 7th grade algebra teacher named Mr. Edwin that smells like cat pee and mothballs. So she's supposed to be a Muslim woman, and yet she's actively showing off her hair. So why am I feeling like she's bucking up against the law? Like the less he talks to her, the more she does things to be shocking. Why am I getting that energy? I'm like, this is like a middle finger to Salah. Showing off her hair, taking the phone to the bathroom, farting on camera. Why am I feeling that energy? Like the less he talks to her, the more she acts out. Are y'all getting that too? I mean, am I wrong thinking that way? Am I really wrong thinking that? I know. It's just dumpster fire. That should just tell you how old I am. Okay. When you had a Walkman and just you did everything with the Walkman. She's punishing him for not being around. Like this is her middle finger to him. F you, I'm gonna fart. F you, I'm gonna eat a bunch of food. F you, I'm gonna show my hair. The thing is, he don't care. He does not care. Show your hair, Foodie. Anybody that gets close to you that's an actual Muslim, they can see right through you. They can clock you. Remember when you went on TikTok and you were talking to Zed? Girl, he saw through you in 2 minutes. He knew what was up. That you were not a true Muslim. That you married perhaps a Muslim man, but you did not have the faith in your heart. He saw through you and he clocked you every which way. I was loving it. I was living for it. A real can always spot a fake. Fat Kid Cool says, Foodie Beauty tries a healthy, no sugar parfait. She hates it. No one could have predicted this. So Foodie's been trying to eat healthy, right? Or at least pretending to eat healthy. Here's the thing, y'all. If you have a food addiction and you get into rituals of eating certain foods, those may take a while to completely break. And Chantal is a carb addict. She loves her carbs. So you can't go from like extreme one thing to an extreme another thing right off the bat. It's got to be gradual if you're going to do it. You got to play the switch out game. If you get into, say, mashed potatoes, you might be able to switch that out for like cauliflower mash. There are people on YouTube that make rice out of cauliflower, and like almost like a mashed potato, but no potato. It's mashed up cauliflower. And I've actually had that. I've had the cauliflower mash. It tastes delicious. You could just boil the cauliflower like you would potatoes, drain the water, add like some yogurt, some spices, and it tastes just like mashed potatoes. It's only healthier. Same thing with the rice. But the problem with her, if she tries to eat healthy, the food addiction in her head is going to go, well, that didn't make us happy. Now we want fast food. So she goes for the fast food because the food addiction is looking for the dopamine rush. It's looking for the sugar. It's looking for the carbs. It's not going to be satisfied with that healthy food. So you'll go ahead and eat the fast food anyway. Like if you try to eat, like a granola bar, the food addict and you saying, what is this shit? I want a candy bar. I want a Snickers. Give me a Snickers. It's like a petulant child in your head screaming for that fast food, screaming for the junk food. He restricts her and it drives her insane. Yeah, well, he needs to understand that her food issue is over her head. That's why she needs inpatient, because she's got to be somewhere where somebody tells her no and she can't tell herself yes. She would be a nightmare patient, though. She would throw a temper tantrum. But just restricting somebody does not make food addiction or any addiction go away. That's why you need the therapy. That's why you need the inpatient. Just telling somebody no, that's not going to make the addiction disappear. It's never going to work. Restriction does not work. Ashley says, hi, Chantal. You inspired me to try Pilates. So I signed up for the same app as you did. I did my first workout today and my 13-year-old joined in. Very nice. Anyway, I still think you suck. But I figured I'd thank you for giving me the push I needed to get back into working out. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome that Foodie has positively inspired somebody. And that's not the first time I've seen a comment like that. Other people have said, watching Foodie, watching Amber, that's inspired them to take care of their health. Because Foodie and Amber are both cautionary tales of what happens when you don't take care of it. But it's amazing that Foodie is inspiring people to get healthy and do Pilates. Tone Knob says, wow, Foodie Beauty went from it's all for booty sniffer to F all of you real fast. Having issues with your romance scammer, are we? Fighting personal demons, are we? That's why you're crying? You run out of party favors? Or did you realize your life is one big lie? I love that for you. Yeah, she's been really nasty. Milky Chai. She's been hating on Milky Chai lately too. Being ugly about Milky Chai. She's been mean. Hi, Hale. She's been real mean. Hasn't she? Foodie's just been in a mood for days now. And some have said it could be because it's the end of the month and she's trying to finish the month strong. She kind of did that on YouTube when she was monetized. But I don't think that's the case now. Because even if she gets mean on Kick, it's really not going to make much of a difference. She's not going to get paid for views. Yeah, if you can't be an example of a dire warning. But she's been there we go. The Natitude is back. Yep. You know what though? Yes and no. Because she's not coming on camera and like going full Monty like she did when she was on the Coca-Cola. I think that she stopped doing the edibles like she did and she traded it for something else because she needs energy to get online and stream for 4 or 5 hours. Plus, she needs energy to do stuff for the feedies. And I don't think the feeders, I don't think they like when she comes on camera and she's just, zonked out of her head. She had to find something to do that didn't make her just, stupefied. So I don't think she stopped doing stuff. She just traded maybe the substance of what she did. She traded the stuff that took away her energy for something that gave her energy because she needs something to get her off her butt. I don't know what she's doing. I have no idea. But in order for her to do all those feeding requests, she cannot be doing edibles all day. So she's maybe cut down on the edibles on camera. She might still be doing them, but she just learned maybe I just shouldn't do as much because I've got to work. I've got to make that money. I cannot be just like in a stoner trance all day. I don't know. I don't know his eyes. It could something with energy in it. Okay, Bella. Busy day in surgery. Well, have a good day today. I don't know what she's doing though. She's doing something that gives her energy versus taking it away. But she's been in a mood. Chantal, you've been very bitchy lately. Did Canada run out of Snickers? Is that the problem? Canada ran out of Snickers bars. She can't find any. And here we are again with Nana Spike Tea. Again, can't do Pilates because it's not modest. They can just about show off those boobs. Nothing about her is modest. No real deal here. No Photoshop. No AI. Yep, she did that. This is what she did on camera. And she made sure to have that camera angled to show that. That was deliberate. I think she's catering to people that want to see a Muslim woman doing haram things, and that might be some of her clientele. Because why else would you do that? Oh, silly, it's Lily says, Foodie Beauty, free career advice. Take it, cutie. I'm enjoying this Oh Lordy, it's Jordy replay so much. I ordered takeout for a second time this week. Nice. So here's Oh Lordy, it's Jordy. What does Jordy have to say about all this?
Sure. A resume for what? Chantal, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Just write, like, instantly a template. Just write. I didn't even have to format it. I just wrote my info, my skills.
Skills? Skills.
My work experience, education.
Work experience? Education?
Languages, all that crap.
Language? You speak one language poorly. Languages.
And it worded it for me even, like in a way that I could never, like, it takes your stuff and it cleans it up in it, So it's still your own info, there's no light on it, but I'm just gonna put, resume, I'm just gonna apply for random stuff. And whatever, if something comes up, that's...
You know what I'm noticing while she's talking? When she's talking about her work experience and using the laptop for work. Do y'all see this? I'm gonna blow this all the way up. Look at her face. Look, what are we doing? What's this? Look what she's doing. She's not even looking at the camera. We got the darty, shifty eye thing happening. And she does that when she lies. She won't even look at the camera. That's such a tell with her. She doesn't look at the camera. And that happens when you're lying to somebody, you know that you're lying and you can't look somebody in the eyes. So you just like, your eyes are everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Sheila.
Good opportunity.
Why doesn't she go work at the movie theater across the street? She could get free movies. She could get access to movie theater popcorn. She could mobility scoot there.
Yeah, why not? Why not work at the movie theater? You love movies, Foodie. I'm sure you wouldn't have to move very much. Why not work at the movie theater? Just scoot on over to the movie theater. You know, take tickets from people. Oh, that's right. Because she said she's not good with people. Even though that's a slam dunk job, you know, taking tickets from people. You know, just people pay for a ticket, you give them a ticket, and then you move on to the next person. It's not that hard. But no, we know why she got that laptop. We know. We ain't stupid over here. But wonderful clip of Jordy. Debbie's World says her little "it's none of your business" rage-a-thons, where she's the boss of everyone, including herself, which is the biggest joke of all. It's called gaslighting, and it's when she's obviously been hit hard with the truth, and now she's going to fight back and bully. Yeah, what's going on with you, Foodie? Oh, wait, hold on. Don't know about Canada, but now movie houses don't have ushers anymore. Oh, it's been a while since I've been to the movies, so thanks for that info. I didn't know that. Maybe she could be one of those people that she cleans up the movie theaters after people leave. She could clean them up. You know, like sweep away all the popcorn on the floor. No? And you don't think she'd do that? She can get free popcorn that way. Okay. Yup says, a few hours into eating clean and Foodie Beauty is already showing signs of withdrawal, such as severe addiction with no history of clean time. About the only good thing about her making these efforts is the rage it produces, always entertaining. Well, it's better than just sitting and listening to her talking about food for 6 hours. She would get fired for taking so long, maybe. Right, if she's going to eat fries, might as well go to the movies and eat popcorn. Yeah, why not? If she were working after hours, they'd come back and they'd find all the milk duds and the popcorn and soda were gone. And they'd immediately look at her like, Foodie, did you take all this stuff? No. You know she'd be going behind that counter and getting free food. She'd just help herself to it. So let's talk about her rages for a minute. Like, she's always like criticizing the reaction channel, saying, all you guys do is look for their rages. Well, that's when you're the most entertaining, number one. And number two, that's when you usually tell the truth. Any other time you lie. We get the most truth out of you when you get mad. And that is sad. Because telling the truth is very easy for a lot of us, but for you it's so hard. It only comes out when you're mad. We want to hear the truth. You won't give us the truth unless you're freaking mad. Then you'll go off on somebody. That's the one thing you don't give people, Chantal, the truth. You always lie. So we have to wait until you get mad to say the truth, or high. We got to wait till she's high or she's mad. We want the truth. And that's the only time you give it to us is when you get mad. Then you just let it all out. Lori says, Foodie Beauty kick recap. Here's the recap. 3 hours and 14 minutes. Allegedly, the cat's getting vaccines tomorrow. I thought she already got her vaccines. Complaining about people saying they don't want to see Salah, blocking, removing users and comments. About that, I did hear that during a recent live stream, he blocked 30 people. Slow cooker slop thinks she's an SS BBW. Blocked cooking footage with her backs. Mods struggling to keep up with the chat, trolling and slurs, inflammatory comments. Cried about how she didn't need a man for validation. I guess Salah is gone again. Off to the gym where the stream abruptly ends. It sounds interesting, doesn't it? Yeah, a lot of people have been complaining about Salah. They don't want him there. And she keeps defending him. That's her channel. She can have on it who she wants. If she wants someone a mod, she can have someone as a mod. But if people in your chat saying, we don't like this person, we don't like him here, if they know the history of Salah, he's really not adding anything to the chat and he's blocking people. What's the point of having them there? He's just blocking her money. But you do you, Foodie. You want to take money out of your pocket, you go for it. You do that. Y'all check this out. All you pet people, listen to this. No cats, no life. This woman's husband built a custom heated, I can't pronounce this word, set up for a stray cat who spends her time in their yard. He added a heat lamp above and a soft bed inside. And now she's spending her coziest winters there, warm, safe, and completely loved. I wish more people treated outdoor animals with this kind of kindness. How do you keep outdoor pets warm on cold nights? Share your ideas. So, what a great idea. Look at that. So there's a cat that lives outside, and these wonderful people built an entire setup for this outdoor cat so it stays warm. This thing looks like a mini chimney, and they put the heat lamp and a nice soft blanket, and the cat appreciates it and using it. So it's not going to get too cold. It looks like the cat's in the fire, but it's just a heat lamp, Deborah. They got the heat lamp above because cats do love warm. Chim-in-ear. Okay, chim-in-ear. Thank you. Well, you know what? That might be in the future for this animal, Billy. Maybe they're just starting off with that. Because some animals want to be indoors and some don't. It all depends. They got to build a comfort level first. If the cat wants to come inside. If not, it wants to stay outside. Okay, Enigma 2025 says she actually went outside without her mobility scooter. That just goes to show it's all performance and she doesn't need it. I'm blowing this up.
Also potato. Chicken, mushrooms, cauliflower, and potatoes.
So look at her. She's walking downstairs.
Also potatoes. Right back.
She's able to walk downstairs. She does not need that scooter. She don't need that scooter. She's just doing it for attention. And also to cater, I'm sure, to the immobilizer feeders. But look, she's able to walk. And she got on that treadmill. Did she not? We just saw the clip. She just got on the treadmill. Ooh, really? Did she say that she applied for disability? When did this happen? She actually applied for disability? Well, that ain't going to happen. Disability sometimes takes years to get on, and it's very, very strict. They don't just take anybody for no reason. She said people treat you nice if they think you're disabled, so she's doing it for attention. That's disgusting. You know, it's bad enough that she's cosplaying being a Muslim woman. Now she's trying to cosplay being a disabled person. Ugh. Horrible. Horrible. It is on Twitter, Brooke. Enigma 2025. It's on Twitter. See? Enigma 2025. And the treadmill clip is also on Twitter, and it's in my feed. Oh, I'm sure she's going to be declined. Because, again, it takes years to get on disability. And not only that, and Foodie has mentioned this herself, she makes too much money for disability. When you get disability, if you're approved, your income is capped. You can only make so much. She makes too much money. But it would take her years to get on disability. And as I understand it, aren't you assigned like a caseworker when you're disabled? They don't just like send you a check and let it be. They give you a caseworker that you got to report to. So it's not like she can just do what she wants and nobody's going to know. And if she got on disability, and if people sent the government clips like this, they would take her off of it real quick. Real quick. People get reported for disability fraud all the time. She would get reported instantly. It would not last long, even if she got it. And she got to see a doctor for that. Yeah, they need a medical report. You're right. Oh, and this right here. In the States, they do disability audits every 3 years. Right. You if you want to keep it, you got to be checked out, and that never stops. Boho Chic says, trying to clickbait now to direct traffic from YouTube. I watched reactions and she was far from hyper. Don't give her a view or watch on Kick, as that puts more money in her greedy pockets. Poor BG, still not spayed while she spends thousands on garbage for herself. Yep. She was trying to grift for money for BG's surgery. Yet obviously she's got enough money. And you're right. I saw the stream where she said she was hyper. Going live and today I am hyper. See you on Kick. And she knew what she was doing saying that she was hyper. That's code for I'm on something energetic and I might be acting crazy. Come watch me. And she wasn't. She was still the same old Foodie Beauty. So she's trying to bait people to watch her. She's trying to literally bait people to watch her. And yet there's nothing to watch. And here's why Chantal hates reactors. We reflect her words and her actions back on herself. And thank you, Debbie's World, for posting this. Foodie Beauty says she's a self-proclaimed liar. I'm blowing all this up.
Well,
I'm blowing this up. Get mad at me, Foodie. I don't care. But this is you talking about you. This is not us talking about you. This is you talking about you. And this is courtesy of One Hectic Llama on TikTok. So tell us about yourself, Foodie, about being a liar. Let's hear it from your own lips.
Well, sometimes I lie to mislead the public. I do, yes. And I feel like I will continue. You lie to Beezers. How? Things I lie about are not important, and Beezers would not give a shit about. Like if I have a dishwasher or not. Did I lie about my accommodation? Where? Here? Yeah.
But that first part, hold on. We're going to watch that again.
Well, sometimes I lie to mislead the public. I do, yes. And I feel like I will continue.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know, and that's all you need to hear. This is why all of us in Girl, where we say, rule number 1, Chantal lies. Rule number 2, she tells on herself, but there's always rule 1, and rule 2 comes later. Sometimes I lie to the public, and I will continue. So she's self-confessing out of her own mouth that she's a liar. She says, I lie about things that are not important. Okay, so if they're not important, why do you continue to lie? If it's not a big deal, why can't you tell the truth about those things? You lie about things you don't even have to. Little lies, big lies, lies all over the place. Why lie? Do you get some kind of thrill out of it? You like to lie to see what you can get away with? That's the naughty child in you that has to be content. She does it for fun as like a hobby. She lied about the dishwasher to ask for $300 from Amazon. Yep, lying and grifting. Lying and grifting. And somebody else pointed out that all this grifting nonsense didn't start until she met Salah. Like it really went into overdrive when she was with Salah, and it hasn't stopped yet. So liar, grifter. Liar, grifter. She lies and she grifts. But we're the bad people over here when we point stuff out. But she's confessing. She's saying, I'm a liar.
You lie to Beezers. How? Things I lie about are not important, and Beezers would not give a shit about. Like if I have a dishwasher or not. Did I lie about my accommodation?
Chantal, not too long ago, you lied about you were in Syria and you had to come home. Remember, if something happens to me, it was them. You're putting out this bat signal that you were not safe in Syria. I can't do what I need to do in Syria. The internet sucks here. I can't do the content that I want to do. And I promise, Beezers, that if I come back to Canada, you're going to get some amazing content. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I'm going to take you here. 10 grand they gave you. And I know you don't want that coming up in conversation anymore. You've been waiting for that to like not be talked about. But I'm going to talk about it. You got $10,000 from your Beezers. And I knew what was going to happen when you got back. I knew exactly what was going to happen because I know you a little bit. 10 grand to start over. And here's the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the kicker. She's complained about her time in the Canadian villa, right? It was so horrible there. It was so terrible. She was so unhappy. Okay, you were unhappy. So riddle me this, riddle me that. Why are you creating the same circumstances and the same environment that you had back at the Canadian villa? The Canadian villa was a trash hole because you made it that way. There was garbage all over the floor. The place was disgusting. You had dirty clothes everywhere. You weren't bathing. You made a very messy environment for yourself. So if it was so awful, why are you recreating it in Canada again? It's a different location, but same environment with dirty clothes, trash and all. Bags of trash everywhere. You did that back in the Canadian villa days too. If it was so terrible, why is it wherever you go, you create the same environment for yourself? And you're not trying to break the chain. You're just keeping it going. I'm confused. The Canadian villa was so horrible, but yet you're redoing it again. Trash and all. If it was so terrible, why are you doing a rewind do-over? I know it's a lifelong behavior. It will not change. But why recreate something that was terrible? Why wouldn't you want to stay away from it?
Where? Here? Yeah. Well, sometimes I lie to mislead the public. I do, yes. And I feel like I will continue.
And she's smiling about that. She's smiling about being a liar. Because nobody holds her accountable. Even her own Beezers don't hold her accountable. They just excuse it because they like her. They found a place over there. I suspect some of them have issues and problems. And because she's got issues and problems, they feel comfortable in her company. You know, like attracts like, birds of a feather flock together. Maybe they have some food issues and they don't want to address them. So they can sub up to somebody who's got food issues and she's not addressing hers. So she is their distraction from fixing themselves. Maybe. Like you're avoiding your problems, I'll avoid my problems too. We'll all hang out together and avoid our issues. She said that? When did she say that? I've said that to her. I've actually said that to her. That some of her Beezers, they don't have good intentions, but she caters to them. She's okay with catering to them. She's not trying to fight back. Okay, so let's get out of here. Mrs. Flupa Booty says, Ottawa resident here. There was no big storm yesterday in our neck of the woods. It did snow, not a ton, but it was coldish. In Ottawa terms, it wasn't freezing cold. Standard winter day here. She could have gone across the street to get her own dang groceries. Yep. But she just didn't want to and was using the snow as an excuse not to do it. Now check this out. Look at this fish. A 79-year-old diver in one fish, 30 years after he nursed her back to recovery. Now they're lifelong friends. So y'all look at this fish. It's like a puppy. Hey, give me that snail. The guy's like, move. I'm trying to crack it open for you. The fish can't wait. Look at that fish. Like, give it here. I want that. The fish looks almost human. Like, what are you doing? Like, let me see. Yeah, the fish can't wait. Like, come on, let me in there. I want that snail. I'm hungry. Lolafied says, what an entitled and miserable person Foodie Beauty is. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Care of, this is Unicorn Pondu. Great channel, Unicorn Pondu. Let's watch.
They don't have like anything. Listen to this. They're out of like everything, or the shopper's a lazy friggin' loser. One of the two.
Hi, how are you? That's how we're starting it. Wow. And the audacity to call them a lazy loser. Ma'am, you live across the street from Walmart. I did hear about this. She's complaining that they have zucchini in stock on the website, but they don't have any in store or something. I don't know. Ma'am, don't.
I love Unicorn Pondu. I do watch Unicorn Pondu from time to time when I've got the time. But yeah, she was complaining about her, or the person who was shopping for her. You want food bad enough, the store's right there. And I'll go on record as saying that I have ordered from Postmates and I've ordered groceries. Sometimes they do substitutions. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. You can reject the substitution if you want, but they'll give you a few minutes to reject it or accept it. But if they're out of your item, just wait till tomorrow. It's not worth getting mad over. It really, really isn't. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
And if it's just going to be a service.
She really is one of the most entitled people I think I've ever seen.
People say, oh, get your own groceries then.
Right?
Yeah, because you live across the street from where you get your groceries from.
Like it gives people an excuse to give short service, but I don't usually complain, but like they don't have like anything.
You don't usually complain. You complain to a scooter company because it was off by 30 pounds. And the reason why you were mad was because she would have to lose 30 more pounds is the reason why she was upset.
And if it's just going to be a service.
She really...
It wasn't even off by 30 pounds. She got the scooter knowing full well that she was well over the weight limit. She just got it because it was cheap. And she figured, oh, I'll get at least a week's worth of content out of it. So you get what you pay for. If you know that you're over 400, 500 pounds, and there is a weight limit stated very clearly on the listing, and you know that you're over the weight limit, then any normal person would go, I really shouldn't be getting that because I'm over the weight limit. It's not going to work. She wanted it because it was cheap. She's like, it's cheap. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You get what you pay for. Exactly. My stores, I choose no substitution or can choose the item you want to substitute. I do this for each item, no random substitutions. So like, well, you are the buyer. You can tell the shopper, I don't want that, or I do want that. But there's no sense of getting mad. It may be kind of a letdown, but what can you do if the store doesn't have it? Unless you want to get in your scooter and go to another store and get the stuff you want.
really is one of the most entitled people I think I've ever seen.
People say, "Oh, get your own groceries then."
Yeah,
Yeah, because you live across the street from where you get your groceries from.
Like it gives people an excuse to give shirts service, but I don't usually complain. But like they don't have like anything.
You don't usually complain. You
she complains. This woman is notorious for going on Postmates and ordering meals, and then she'll eat 3/4 of the food and then turn around and ask for a full refund. She used to do that on live. She'd order one meal and then eating the meal. And while she's eating the meal, she's ordering another one while she's eating the meal. But on live, sit there and eat about 3/4 of the food, and then on live, get on her phone and complain about the order so she can get a full refund. That's called stealing. That's called fraud. You're committing fraud. And you know what, Chantal? I hope that whatever Uber Eats, Postmates account that you have, you get absolutely banned. I hope they ban your account. I hope they pick up on the fact that you are a thief and they ban your accounts, because that's stealing. That is a form of stealing. You can't pull that scam at restaurants. You can do it on Postmates and Uber Eats, and you've abused Postmates and Uber Eats. She complained about missing sauces last night and got credit. And what did she do to the sauces? She didn't even put the sauces on her food. She just opened them up and like sucked the sauces down her throat. She got an $11 credit over 50-cent sauces? Crazy. You're a thief, Chantal. You're a horrible thief. You're stealing from businesses trying to make a buck, from people that actually work for a living. You're taking their money. Oh, she got a $15 credit on top of that. I'm missing gravy, as if she needs gravy. Horrible. Just trying to scam free food from people. Horrible. Oh, your karma's going to suck. Your karma is going to suck.
complained to his scooter company because it was off by 30 pounds. And the reason why you were mad was because she would have to lose 30 more pounds. Is the reason why she was upset.
At the same time, ordering knowing that she can't fit on that scooter. She absolutely cannot fit on that scooter. Moving along. Rubber crazy. I can't play this clip because there's music on it. Debbie's World says, this is who she is, a low-life user, abuser, grifter. Never forget who she really is. She can run her mouth all day long, bragging about how great she is and how great Salah is, but we know they're both losers and we're winners. So I'm going to blow this up too. Let's watch the clip.
I'd rather give blowjobs for a living than like work at a cash register. Listen, I'm sorry, but I can't. I don't care about people. Like, I don't like when people complain about stupid things. I have trouble being nice. Like, I got in trouble for that. I'd rather give blowjobs for a living than like work at a cash register. Listen, I'm sorry, but I can't. I don't care about people. Like, I don't like when people complain about stupid things. I have trouble being nice.
So why did you get the laptop again? Weren't you using the laptop to find a job? But here you are in this clip from the Canadian Villa saying you absolutely do not want to work. And I do understand, y'all, that there are job positions that you can do from home, but she doesn't want to deal with people. She doesn't want to do customer service. And I understand that because sometimes customer service can be a bitch. It can be a real bitch if you work in customer service. You got to be nice to people who are sometimes just, they're not nice to you. They take advantage of the fact that you're working a customer service job and you have to be nice. but she really does not have the temperament nor the personality to do customer service. So if you can't do customer service work online and physically you can't do, a job in person, what was the purpose of the laptop? Oh, I'm sure you got the laptop for work, just the kind of work that you don't want other people knowing about. That's what my money is on, because that laptop is in your bedroom. Why is it in your bedroom? Because you're doing stuff in your bedroom, aren't you? But she'd rather do things rather than work a regular job. And this bitch has the nerve to talk about anybody in the adult industry. Remember the last live I did, her going off on people in the adult industry. And yet, here we go. Here's this clip. Here we go. Saying I'd rather do adult work rather than work a regular job. She was going off on Kai Bella. And what makes her more of a hypocrite is that she's criticizing people in the adult industry at the same time she's still in it. She's over there doing adult content for people. She's not even doing it on adult form. She's doing it on Kick and trying to get away with it. And so far she has, but she's catering to adult fetishes, which belong on adult websites, not on a public forum. There's a reason why adult stuff is on adult forums, because only adults of the right age can see that stuff and consent. When you put adult fetishes on a public forum and people are not aware of what they're looking at, you're taking away their right to be knowledgeable about what they're watching and to consent. You're taking consent away. And as someone in the industry, that is wrong, Foodie. Everybody should be informed about what they're looking at and be able to consent. Consent is important. Even with somebody who is a spectator, consent is paramount. It is absolutely paramount. You should not be doing adult things in front of people, because some of those people watching you may be underage. So to prevent that, go to an adult forum. You should be informing the public of what you're doing and give them the choice to watch you or not watch you, but not subject people to adult fetishes that they have no knowledge of, but they're watching anyway. Just my opinion. And remember what I said about her recreating the Canadian villa? Here's some proof. Raised Dactylion says Chantal doesn't need a garbage can because she takes her garbage out every day, but has 2 bags of garbage on the floor. There's more in her living room and bedroom. This is what her house looks like. Look. Look. This is what her house looks like. Is this any different than the Canadian villa? It's a different location, same type of environment. Boxes, garbage bags everywhere. Her carbon footprint is horrible. Like just bags and bags of garbage. And she lives alone. She can't even blame it on another person. That's just from her. So when she was in the Canadian villa, it was a pigsty. And we got another pigsty. I hope her landlord sees that. Well, I'll tell you what, if she causes a pest infestation of some sort or another, the landlord's not going to be none too pleased, nor are the other residents. Because if you got a pest infestation, they travel through the walls to other, units. That's the bad thing about living in an apartment is if somebody's got a bad problem with bugs, they will migrate to your house. You could be the most clean person in the world. And if there's somebody living next to you that has a bug problem, whether it's bed bugs or roaches or anything like that, they migrate. They'll come to your house and hang out and say, hey, Heard you were having a party down here. We just left one party. We're coming down here for another. So that's her house. $2,000 apartment, and it looks nasty. Nasty. Yeah, roaches love boxes. They love food. They love anywhere they can hide. And once they get in, it's hard to get them out, especially if you live in an apartment, because again, they migrate. Hello, Haunted Oracle. So there you go. That's what her house looks like. Okay, what else we got here? And I love this. Miss Morris reads. Carmen Cat, San Diego, Orange Cat. Hello, Orange Cat. I'm just gonna leave this here.
If I get evicted, I'll just move. If I get evicted, I'll just move to a cheaper place. Okay, you're doing me a favor. I'm stuck here. If I get evicted, I'll just move to a cheaper place. Okay, you're doing me a favor. I'm stuck here. If I get evicted, I'll just move to a cheaper place. Okay, you're doing me a favor. I'm stuck here.
So she wants out. She just said it herself. Out of her own mouth, out of her own lips. She doesn't want to be there. I knew that even before she said it, though. The energy she's putting out, she does not want to be there. She's stuck there. And I think that's making her angry, the fact that she's stuck there and there's nobody around to rescue her or give her a new place to go to where she can get out of her lease. But look at the cavalier attitude of like, well, if I get evicted, then you're doing me a favor. I'll just go somewhere else. Well, where exactly are you going to go? Where are you going to go? I know. And you know what? You know what, Brooke? It ain't that bad. Like, she got a nice apartment. Yes, it's expensive, but it's near a Walmart. It's near the food court. It's free gym. Like, there are some helpful things there to help her out. It's really nice. She just doesn't like the idea of paying $2,000 in rent. That is a pill she does not want to swallow. She wanted a nice place. She got a nice place, but now she's resentful of the nice place because it's so much money, and she just doesn't want to part with her money on rent. She wants to save it for her addictions. Like, I want my money for food and whatever else. I don't want to give the landlord his share. She hates giving up her money. She'll give money to a man, but she won't give it to a landlord. She's just resentful of responsibility. I would love it too. Shoot, are you kidding me? I wouldn't be down for the $2,000 in rent, but I would love the location. But you know what? I got to give credit to somebody because this I never put this together. So full credit to No Madness Life because she said this, and as soon as she said it, I was like, "Oh my God, you're right." That the place that Foodie got, she made sure to be close to food. So I think that her choosing the location had something to do with that too. Like, it was all about having access to food. Like, she picked a location based on the fact that she was near a Walmart, that she was near a food court. The place was nice. That was a bonus. But it kept her close to one of her addictions. So I'm like, damn, I never put that together. You're right. She's close to food. She's close to places to eat, access to food. So I'm sure that was a concern of hers, having access to food. And I'm like, dang, never thought about that. She's next to a Walmart for groceries. She's next to a food court for the fast food. So I think that maybe played into her decision to stay where she's at. Like, it was important to be near the food at all times, me near the food, which is sad. It's like you're looking for a place to stay, and your first thought is, I've got to keep my addictions happy, versus finding a place that makes sense and within your budget. Jamie Cantanella says, Foodie Beauty, Amberlyn Reed, Chantal is trying to catch up to Amberlynn. Battle of the Biggins. So here's Foodie. Take a look at Foodie. There's Amber. Foodie. And Amber. Now they're catching up to each other. They're definitely catching up to one another. All right, what else we got here? Oh, and this is when she went to the bidet. I think I showed all this stuff in another Twitter Peeps video. So I think we're done for right now, y'all. We've been on for 3 hours anyhow. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the Tarot React as well as the Twitter Peeps. We just put it all together because Foodie, like, oh my God, she's got that 4-hour live. What am I going to do? Oh, Lord, I can't with her. 4 hours. It's not even good stuff. All right. Thank you guys for coming in. And for those of you that are not subbed to my channel, if you want to sub up, please do. You guys can give a thumbs up on your way out and leave a comment if you wish. And thank you so much for being here today. And I'll see you guys on the next live or the next video. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.